Kanpai!
One day I'll actually put the timer on.
No.
But not today.
Today
Right,
is not
welcome
that day.
weebs. Welcome weebs. We are here to talk about anime, specifically the Autumn 2022 3-episode rule, where we will be talking about the shenanigans of what we've been watching and things, and criticizing Nasuth far too many things he has watched. However, going on straight onto the housekeeping, just to remind everyone, we have timestamps and chapters allowing you people to navigate to the sections of the show that they're interested in to watch. So if you want to find out what we think about a specific show, you can jump to it and you can hear our rating pretty much straight away. Also, have you checked on your subscription lately? If you haven't, claim it by clicking the subscribe button. You might be missing out on seeing our show pop up in your feed. Make sure you also click the bell and keep your subscription on from getting lonely. And with the winter coming, remember that if you're cold, they're cold. Let your YouTube... Sorry, inside? What?
Yeah, let your... Instead of let your pets inside, it's let your YouTube inside. Come on.
Why didn't you let your content creators inside?
Oh, crap. You're right. YouTubers.
Yeah.
Let your YouTubers inside.
YouTubers. Yeah. YouTubers. Yeah. Anyway. But, yeah, so... subscribe.
It's like, the new kind... It's a new eggplant variant, a YouTuber.
Yeah, hit the bell and leave a comment. We do read all the comments. Right, okay, so, and as we've been doing it for a few weeks now, the news section of the show is currently on its own separate episode that comes out on Tuesdays. Right, okay, so we're going to go straight into the topic for this week, and we're going to be talking about the season, that's not this season, that's this season. We're going to be talking about... Why have you broken it? How have you broken it? Stop breaking it, Nasuth.
I don't know.
This is why we can't have nice things.
It was
either fix it right now, or we're gonna have to pause. You're not fixing it. Okay. This is deplorable. Deplorable, Nasuth. Right. Okay. Nasuth broke it.
Always 100%.
Nasuth just breaks everything. Right, so we're doing the 3-episode rule for Autumn 2022, and Loz is going to be going first. And yeah, you going first with My Hero Academia, Loz?
Yeah?
Yeah, he is. There we go. So, go for it.
Is My Hero Academia going to appear at the back?
It should. But I think just Nasuth broke it.
Why is it being like this today?
Wow. You even got that from the, I think that's
from the last
episode just now, and it's like, okay, very sad moment there.
Oh. Xeno, you fuel.
If you didn't say that. I don't know what it is!
Right, so, My Hero Academia, this is season 6?
Six, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did we stop? Did we stop in season 2?
2?
Or did we get all the way through season 2?
We watched all of 2 and then we stopped, and we watched One Punch Man and then we never looked back.
Yeah, basically. It's fine. It's a fine show. It's just, it gets a little long in the middle.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, is that, so this season's had 4 episodes so far, and is just, I haven't gone rewatched seasons 3 and 4. In between or anything, or 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, in between. I know there's some good stuff in there, some interesting arcs. But if you'd seen maybe up to season 3, and you're just like, oh god, can you just get to the point where things are happening? Just this. So we've had 4 episodes, and it's just like, right, we're just gonna attack the villains now.
Fair.
Just like,
wow.
Why didn't you do this years ago? Yeah, so this is actually where things are actually happening. The big attacks from the heroes against the villains are happening.
Oh, you didn't give it a rating.
Oh yeah.
Low. Some people might say My Hero Academia is amazing, so they would say it's a must-watch. It's hard to say for something that's got 5 seasons more watch before you could probably watch this and understand like the minutiae of what's happening.
It's sort of like if you've already put in that much time, you'll be fine watching this. But
yeah, I mean, if you, I don't want to say spoilers before putting a thing on it, but I don't. It's still good, and it's like it's this. So I'm just give it a quiet taste because I'm not going to say it's nothing special, but I wouldn't say it's much watch, but a quiet taste with it because you can't just jump in at this point. But this is the bit the sort of stuff you've been waiting for like since the very start. Like I can't remember the name. I have terrible names of you know who that character there was with the the hawk head and he's got the weird shadow.
Oh yeah.
And you've always wanted to see like him cut loose and be amazing, and it's like finally. Yeah. After so many seasons, look as he ginormously gets a giant bird thing that mashes through walls. It's like, damn, and so it is good, and it's like, but same time, it's just like, why it takes so long to get to the point?
Yeah, that's true of a lot of shonen shows, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember that bit. Interesting. It's hard to say where this is going to go as well because obviously, like I say, they just literally. This season, I mean, if you spoilers now, actually.
All right,
hit the spoilers.
It won't take long.
There it is.
Yeah. So.
Hang on. I don't know why it's not working. Come on. Any second now. Xeno, you broke it. There we go.
Yep. So, what was now? Oh, right. So yeah, this is four episodes so far of just the heroes finally doing an all-out attack on 2 locations where the villains are basically holed up, and the villains have expanded themselves and have basically an army now. But at the same time, like they spent the last season building up the villains, and they have like to get to the point where the villains have this army. So they put a lot of time into developing the villains, and you see that one bit where you had like the character who looks like almost like a Deadpool ripoff. With the,
he's totally a Deadpool ripoff. I've only seen him once, and I know he's a Deadpool ripoff.
Yeah, he's got some interesting. Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't break the fourth wall or anything. But he also has an interesting character arc where he has to get over his trauma and things as a villain still. And but yeah, that they just killed him there. So that's the point he dies. It's like it's kind of sad thing. So it's like they are. So I just want to point out they're doing important things here. They're attacking the villains. This is them planning their attack on one of the locations of all the the exit ways, and they've got to prevent them. They want to get all the villains in one go. Big things are happening. It's not like the villains like, aha, we knew you were coming. No, they've gotten the villains by the ghoulies at this point, and they're trying to lop off the head, let's say. And so yeah, it's good. It's like it was hard to say where this is going to head out or what it means. It's just like it's finally what you want, but it's 4 episodes of action. So yeah, that's it.
So question I have. I think we can take spoilers off. All right. So I stopped halfway through season 4, I think. And at least I think it was. But regardless, in now, right? Are the kids still school students?
No, they're so the first 4 episodes. They're attacking the villains and the student. They're still students, but they've been basically what's the word?
Deputized?
More than that, I would say they are
let off the leash.
No. What's the term when you
given the license to kill?
Stop it! When you bring people into the army,
drafted.
Oh, conscripted.
Yeah, I was about to say.
They're basically conscripted as like the second line of this big attack. A couple of them are in the front line, ones with full powers that they want to take with them, but like the rest of them are just like the back row or the second wave. But they also like doing one of the places they're attacking is a hospital, so they're the ones doing the protecting the sort of civilian area around sort of thing, so that the main heroes can focus on attacking the hospital. So they are being used frontline basically against them. So yeah, they are still students, but I think they're in their second year or basically the end of the second year. So
are the bad guys set up in a hospital?
They're in several places.
That's rude.
Is this one with the green tie a ripoff of the Riddler?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
I did discover he has an insanely long nose.
It does.
Anyway,
that's fine. It's okay, but if you love My Hero Academia, at this point, 6 seasons in. If you're watching it, you're gonna watch it. If you're not gonna watch it, well, start season 1, see what you think. But yep. Let's go next.
Cool. Right, let's move on to Nasuth's.
Me first.
Pick.
Okay.
Yeah, you
right.
first.
All right.
Right. Are you going to go with housing? Oh, no, you've changed your order.
I have changed it. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to hit that one. Okay,
Tatami Time Machine. So this is another. I wanted to like this one, but I've got to give it a pass, and I'll tell you why. So there are actually 6 episodes out for this. I made it to episode 5. It's Science Seru, which is an instant turn off for Xeno. I understand. That's fine.
Just to clarify, that means that it's done by the people that did Devilman Crybaby.
Yes.
And Japan Sinks.
They also did Yurei Deco from last season.
That was it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Nasuth panned.
Yeah, I was really interested in that show until the ending, where it really just kind of fell apart. This one fell apart before the ending. Well, it's not that it fell apart exactly. It's okay. They have a solid concept of time travel. They use the idea that if something happened in the past. Or if you do something in the past because you're time traveling, it already was going to have happened. So like, when they start getting the bright idea to mess around with the time travel, they do it because they already saw one of them in a picture during. They're like film students, or one of them's a film student, and so they were shooting a movie, and they saw a duplicate of one of them in the background when they were reviewing the footage. And like, that's cool and all, but then it started to become really obvious really quickly exactly how it would all play out. Like, there were no real twists. And I just completely lost interest in that because it's like, if I already know where you're going to go, why should I watch all the way to the end? I'm not... It's not spoilers because it's only episode 5, but I could tell that this kid came back from the future to visit them. That's where they got the time machine in the first place. And it's clearly the child of 2 of these other characters who want to become romantically involved. It's like, and you know that all of this is going to end up pushing them together, and they're going to end up giving birth to the kid, who then comes back, and blah, 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 blah. The real breaking point for me was when this all started with a remote for an air conditioner that they spilled Coke on, right? And at some point, they end up taking it 99 years into the past when the entire area is still a swamp. And it's plastic wrapped and somehow survives in the ground for 99 years after they've come in and developed the area into a student housing place. And it broke. I'm willing to accept a time travel scenario. I'm not willing to accept that. That's just a little bit too far for me.
Well, how the fuck did they find it?
The remote? The dog that lives in this place dug it up in the yard, just like the day before.
Fucking...
The rubber would degrade really quickly within the space of 10 years. The plastic would, unless the bag is a vacuum seal bag, most metal in there is eventually going to oxidize quite rapidly within 50 years.
It's not just that, but like the plastic's gonna, like, depending on the quality of the plastic, it's just gonna like sweat and like
but it might sometimes plastic would last that long. Some plastic, you're right.
And it gets cold in the winter there, so that it gets like really warm in the summer in this particular area, but also really cold in the winter. So you have to deal with that.
Okay, better question. Does the remote still work?
It was broken to begin with.
Oh well, I mean
they broke. They broke it when they that's sort of the triggering event that started everything.
So they accidentally poured Coke on it and then it time traveled.
No, they ended up finding a time travel machine that their son from the future brought back for some reason. So the characters are kind of quirky and fun. I did like them. There's this guy that basically plays like a little imp or demon. He's the one with the weird sharp teeth, and the wide mouth, and he's great. No, this is the son from the future, right here.
Okay.
And there's this weird guy who pretends to be like a Edo era master all the time. They're all quirky and fun, and that's all great, but it just falls down.
I think this is
Like
all
a
out,
video
isn't
that
it?
an AI generated.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
time travel
I mean-
slice of life is what it is.
Isn't this all out? Isn't it only like 6 episodes long?
Is it only 6 episodes? I thought it was a full 12. I could be wrong.
When I looked it up on Anime Planet, it was just 6 episodes out. It wasn't indicating that there was like 6+ episodes. It was just like
Yeah.
yeah.
It really should have stopped.
Sorry, 6 episodes.
It really should have stopped at episode 4. 5 and 6. Well, 5 is where I stopped, like I said. And I can't imagine that 6 is much better. It really should have stopped at 4 because it wrapped up the basic story that they had.
Right. I think it's time to move on. So I'm going to move on to my first show of the review, as Nasuth is constantly breaking everything like he does.
It's all broken forever.
And I'm going to be talking about Golden Kamuy Season 4. Now,
Please try not to spoil it for me. Do I need to cover my ears?
I'm gonna spoil the shit out. Well, I'm pretty sure you've spoiled Berserk for me. So, but
They do all die.
anyway, Golden
Rock
Kamuy
Soul.
Season 4. I'm gonna give this currently a nothing special, right? So, Golden Kamuy Season 4, Golden Kamuy itself is a really great series, a really great concept. It's totally 100% worth watching. The problem thus far with Season 4 is we've only had one episode with the main crew that started off the whole series. So we've had 3 episodes right now, and only one of them covers the main crew. The second one covers some of the side characters that are more relevant in seasons 1 and 2, and then the third episode covers characters that I've barely got a look in, and it's what is this even? So there's one of the characters is from season 1, one of the characters is from season 2, and then the other 2 characters are just nope, these haven't existed prior to this. I think Golden Kamuy is coming to a point where it's really important that you kind of just binge watch the whole thing in one go. I'm going to keep watching it no matter what, because I love the first 3 seasons. The first 3 seasons are brilliant. And yeah, I don't know what else to really add to this.
When Wheel of Time started doing that, where it stopped focusing so much on, or there were just too many characters, and so it had to spend time going between all of them, and it was but I don't care about these people.
Characters.
I want the people I started with. Yeah. That's not fun. That's no fun.
It's I suppose a comparable is Lord of the Rings, to have the Fellowship of the Ring do all the work that it does, only to get to Return of the King, and it's a third of the movie is just these troops that you've never spent any time with before. What the fuck is this? It just feels really jarring and things. It is still a good series. If you haven't seen Golden Kamuy, it's totally worth watching. It's basically about different tribes within Japan.
It's like Japan and China a bit, or Siberia.
Yeah, Siberia, not China.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting how basically that there is a mass fortune of gold that's been squirreled away somewhere by this one Ainu, right? And they have detailed a map that is tattooed across many different prisoners, and they have to get the tattoos, and only the daughter of the person that did the tattoos will be able to translate it to understand what the hell's going on, to identify where the gold is.
Yeah.
So it's totally worth watching, but I mean, I just feel like maybe by season 4 now it's worth watching when it's all out.
Yeah, I do love the little details they go into where they talk about their culture and whatnot. It's such a good show.
And the passion for the food and the
Oh,
chip
yeah.
shop and You know.
Oh, it's so Hina.
Yeah. That's what I'm checking out.
Yeah.
So, Golden Kamuy, if you were to rate so far, all of Golden Kamuy with a thing, what would you give it?
Oh, must watch.
A must watch. But this season, at the moment, we're only 4 episodes in, so can't really blame it.
3.
It's 3. Oh, 3. It's a bit slow, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's quite
A bit
slow.
and focusing and building on things, and it's just like...
Yeah, it's so the big thing is that in season 3, it really focused on a small group of characters and some of the ones that you really wanted to experience. Sorry. Some of the characters that you really wanted to engage with, you just didn't see at all, right? But this is like engaging with characters, or showing you stuff plot with characters that are like, who the fuck are you? You're just some random bumpkin. So, yeah. Right, so let's move on to Loz's next choice. Which I believe is, I've somehow gotten stronger when I improved my farm-related skills.
Poop.
It's just poop. It's just poop.
Just flat out poop.
Just poop. Just poop it. Just poop it. Unless you are someone who just likes... And I watch, and I still enjoy, and I'd gladly probably watch it again. Absolute basic isekai-esque or fantasy-esque stuff. This is a story
All about how
in which there is a fantasy world. People can see their stats. This guy did lots of farming. He got farming skills to level 10. He then became like...
And now all the ladies want him.
It's not quite this, because he is at this kind of level, but for like most stuff, like quite a One Punch Man situation. But he's not like One Punch Man in the fact there's not anything he fights, but he has just become ridiculously OP, and he just does farming. And his character is, he likes farming, and his objective goal is, he wants to go farming, and he wants to do all the farming all the time. And so he did the farming all the time, he got all his farming skills to level 10, and then he became super powerful. And then he beats people by using farming tools. Now, you might think this is hilarious, and like, you could really run with this and play like really tongue-in-cheek. No.
Oh, sort of like the epic NPC guy who ends up like saving a princess. What is that? What video is that? I can't remember what it's called.
He does save princesses. He does save a princess in that.
See, there you go.
Like,
but that one's funny, and this one sounds...
He just wants to go farming. He's not funny. It's not funny in that, like, that he just wants to go farming. It's just like, I have to go do the crops now. Can I do the crops now? Oh, but we need your help to save the kingdom. But I want to do the crops. Go do the crops. I'll give you more farmland. Okay, but I got to do crops. And it's just like, it doesn't explain anything. It doesn't explain anything at all. Why or how or what's going on. And like, the demons attack, and then he beats all the demons. And then, oh my god, this stuff here with this girl, this kid, it came in, I don't know, it's been like 3 episodes on this rubbish. There's like a dragon that's called the Ouroboros dragon. It's evil dragon. It feeds on despair. And it killed an entire village apart from that girl. And that's her brother. And she's going, I leave you alone for 15 years. You will build up your despair. And then I will kill you and everyone where you are in 15 years. Obviously, it's like some sort of cycle where it eats the despair of people and things like that. Mm-hmm. And they hope they use the main character, who's Farm Man. There we go. He's getting stabbed by the possessed dragon woman person. The girl. He uses hope. And then the dragon's stats go down and he beats it with a punch. And then... randomly, a Hope Dragon turns up out of literally nowhere, and then the Hope Dragon heals him and then falls over, and then they beat the evil dragon, but the Hope Dragon does something. There's just random stuff happening, and then afterwards she's able to like summon dragon claws and wings and things, and it's just like, and he just wants to go farming. At one point, the dragon possesses him to a set, it's like, aha, I'll take over him, but then the dragon, because it feeds on despair. But it realizes his mind.
He has no despair.
Nothing but farming. There's nothing but farming. But I'm like, but he could despair that he could spend all his time farming.
But he can't farm.
Crops don't grow. Yeah, no. You just see him tilling land. He's like, his mind. It's nothing but farming. It's like, what is the show? It's not even done funny. It's done quite like, oh yeah, he just does farming. And he does farming. And it's like, well, so it's just awful. There's no plot, there's no through, no building anything, no larger world development. He just did farming, got skills good, and now like he's just helping the kingdom out. And it's like, what?
I want to make an observation, right? When I was going through the first 3 episodes to get screenshots for you, I noticed that nearly every shot is... Oh, what is this? What the fuck is this? That's at the start.
Not from the show.
Isn't it?
No. What's that?
Are you sure? I swear that's from the first episode, at the very start of the show.
Wow. Oh! Oh, yeah, no! I think so. He beats this with a potato. He chucks a potato at it.
Not even a potato gun, just a potato.
No, he just chucks a potato or a carrot at it, kills it. From a distance.
The stupidest thing is...
Who killed that dragon?
The rest of the show doesn't look like that at all.
No,
right?
No, even the next dragon, the weird despair and hope dragon, don't look as real as that dragon did.
Right, but here's the big thing. Look at this camera angle. Look at the past one where it was all grayscale and everything. They're all the same sodding camera angle from the side. I swear this is like a point-and-click adventure game from like MS-DOS days.
I think you could probably chop this up making a point-and-click adventure game. It can click potato, throw a dragon. Oh, this is when he gets upset. He realizes, oh, shall I stop that demon army that's charging on the capital? Wait, if I don't stop the demon army, I'll have nobody to sell my fruit to, and then I'll go out. Then I won't have a farm because I won't be able to have like commerce and things.
Yeah.
I better go beat up the army with a hoe. Yeah, and he does. Yeah. It's not even like funny. I don't know if this is funny, but I don't find this funny. It's I do enjoy it, and I'm going to keep watching it. I'm not putting it down or anything because it's just like generic fantasy stuff. But I'm just like, what?
I mean, you gave it a poo. So I mean, I think you are putting it down.
Watching it, but I mean, it's just like, oh my word! You just like, are you going to explain anything? Are you going to have like a goal? Are you going to have anything? No, you just kind of random despair dragon, and then hope. Seriously, like it spends set like there. He's like, what is this scale I found in the forest while doing these basic quests? Because I'm trying to level up as an adventurer. Oh my god, it's a scale from the despair dragon. Oh my god, it's so powerful. We saw it and we just didn't attack it. Oh my god. And then like there's like 2 or 3 episodes set on this despair dragon, and all of a sudden just at one point this hope dragon just appears. Literally out of nowhere. I literally mean, oh, there's a hope dragon now. I'm like, what?
Wow.
What? Where was the... Why? Why is there a hope dragon?
Because they hoped for it.
He defeats the despair dragon. The despair dragon then possesses the girl that left alive for 15 years. Blah, blah, blah. Then it stabs him, which we have seen in there, right? And then it's about to finish the job with another stab. And then the Hope Dragon's wing just comes down. And it's like, what? It's like, aha, the Hope Dragon! You have awakened! What?
Yeah.
What Hope Dragon?
Yeah.
And the Hope Dragon goes, I will heal you and give you essence, and then it just collapses over.
He planted some dragon nip to attract it, and, it all makes sense.
Anyway, right. Okay, so we're going to move on to...
Yeah, go on, because my brain just couldn't acknowledge it.
My second one, which is... Yeah, I screwed up the order.
Okay. All right.
My second one, which is do it yourself, right? So this is a weird slice of life. Just chill out and enjoy. Nasuth won't like it, but I think this is an acquired taste.
Okay. All
right. The whole premise is that, as you have in every school in Japan, there are clubs, right? And there is this one club which is DIY club, and they make benches, they make shelves, they make key holders, they make all sorts of weird, wonderful shit. But it's just this bunch of girls that are just doing DIY. You've got the main character who you've yet to see on the background, who is a walking disaster. They keep making the joke that she has perfect attendance at the nurse's office because every day she gets horribly injured.
Oh my.
Not horribly. She like, stuff falls on her, or she falls off her bike, or shit like that. And as a result, like she gets another band-aid and gets on with the rest of her day. And it's just really fun. It's just really wholesome. It's really nice. I'm not like as I've whinged about it before. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these flat characters. It's hilarious because the 2 screenshots in a row actually have shading on them. The majority of the time, the show does not have any shading on it whatsoever. And typically, I'm not a fan of that style of art. But for something so light-hearted, I'm fine with it. I like, you know, I let it go. I try not to let it bug me or anything. I think Loz wants to try and say something.
No?
Nope. Okay, cool. And yeah, it's fun. It's just really light-hearted and warm. And yeah, there she goes. She just, you know, bunch of
it's me.
wood
Okay.
supplies.
Yeah.
A bunch of wood supplies fell on her. And yeah, it's like some of the detail that they have on the animation is really cool. It's just fun. It is just flat out fun. I don't know what to compare this to, really. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions. No, it's just fun, slice of life.
Yeah.
I do recommend it. You know.
I mean, shop class is also a good skill to have. So you know.
But this isn't
good on them for
shop
going.
class. This is. I know the whole cast is girls, right? Again, it's just nice to have that.
What, is this what a world in which boys don't exist, or?
Thus far, yes.
Good. No.
There's not a single male character.
I mean, I guess it's a world in which you know, people just generate themselves through mitosis. So just, you know.
Yeah.
No, they build new ones.
They're all wearing the same
they do it.
clothing, so
They do it
it's
yourself. You know.
Exactly. This will do it yourself. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Mitosis by yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, it's just a fun done series. I would recommend it. So there you go. Let's move on to.
I see what you mean about the art style. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's just flat colors. Like
that's fine.
But because it's just so lighthearted and things. You don't need to take it seriously. It's fine. Unlike fucking Devilman Crybaby, which is a pile of shit. Yes, I'm going to throw it under the bus again. I'm now going to hand it over to Nasuth.
Right. So the Human Crazy University is.
Shoot, wrong one.
What did you pick? Tiger and Bunny?
I accidentally put Tiger and
Bunny. Oh, you fool! No, that we'll have words about that one soon.
Fix it.
No. We'll have that one. That one is. We'll talk about that one soon. But this is an acquired taste. It's actually kind of neat, but it's not. I'm gonna be dropping it because it's not what I'm after this season.
Okay.
Imagine, you know those Ripley's Believe It or Not stories, the strange but true sort of stuff.
No.
Well, essentially, this is strange but true stories, and they tell them through the lens of the main character. So, like, everything happened to him specifically. They start out with him being a prisoner on death row who is hung and survives because he has a particularly strong neck, but also he'd eaten seafood beforehand, and the seafood gave him anaphylactic shock. And in the process of dying and coming back to life, he loses all his memory. So he talks to this doctor who's like, "Look at all these strange things that happened to you. We're going to study you here at the Human Crazy University." And like the next story is about how he was on a raft with a guy because a whale like attacked their boat and they basically sunk it. And in the process of getting rescued, he attracted a garfish because of he swung around his
garfish?
A garfish.
What is a garfish?
Think kind of like a swordfish, but stabbier, and smaller. And they go after fish when they sparkle in the sunlight, right? So him waving around his pendant to try and attract a nearby boat also attracted the garfish, and it literally stabbed him through the neck from side to side. But because the sailors knew what to do, they stopped him from trying to remove it, and they got help on the beat. They went back and got him help, and he survived. So it's that sort of level of strange but true stories. Part of what makes it an acquired taste is that, but also part of it is the animation style. This is actually taken.
Wait. So strange but true. Do you mean like people like surviving shark attacks and things like that?
That sort of thing. It's also like diseases and poisonings and, like I said, the hanging at the beginning.
We're not talking like aliens. We're not talking about like Bigfoot. We're not talking.
No. This is actual like documented stuff that's happened.
Right. So these are weird circumstances that are actually physically possible.
You should have died, but you didn't for whatever reason.
Like, you get shot in the head and somehow you survive.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. So this actually comes from a YouTube series, which has been going for, I don't know, at least several years. So the animation style is similar to that. It's lots of still shots, kind of like Where the House Husband. You know how that's very like, yeah, they don't have a lot of animation. It's like that.
Right.
But yeah, it's honestly, if you're into that sort of strange but true story stuff, either go check it out or go check out the YouTube channel. They have an official Japanese and an official English version, so you can even just look up Human Crazy University on YouTube and you'll be able to find it.
So what's the point?
To tell strange but true stories. People like that sort of thing.
No. I get that. What's like the meta plot? What's the overarching? So he forgot his memory, and they study weird like people like him at this crazy human university. And so the doctor is telling him stuff about his life, and then he's like, oh yes, this triggers a memory, and then they talk about the story that happened, and So this poor guy that seems to have the weirdest.
He died.
knock
Yes,
ever.
he was on death row and died and came back to life. And since they don't know what to do with him, they're studying him.
They're just studying him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very thin premise to just get them to be able to tell you stories, and that's fine.
Right.
But it's just I like that sort of thing, but I don't want to watch a whole season of it. That's why I'm dropping it.
Okay then. Right. Let's go to Loz.
Ooh.
Right. Are you ready, Loz?
Yep.
Okay.
Can't believe he's not saving that one for later.
I have an order. I don't know.
I mean,
it's on the thing. You're going to Chainsaw Man.
I'll do anything in order, man. There's no need. Anyway, Chainsaw Man. Let's set the timer. Okay, so at time of recording, there's only been 2 episodes of Chainsaw Man out, and it's not really much of a spoiler, but I would say that these consist of the first episode sets up the main character. That's literally the whole episode, and then the second episode is like, right, we have something to give our character something to do. Let's give them a story arc and some world building. So that's as far as we've gotten.
Rating?
Yeah. What would you rate
A
it?
rating. So at the episode 1, I would say is a must watch. Like, watch it, and like I was like getting bored halfway through, and then just like they just went crazy. It was cool. Episode 2 though is obviously trying to do a lot of heavy lifting in one episode, which puts it down a bit to, I want to say, a quiet taste. So let's see how it is. But at the same time, it's really hard. There's a good reason we call it the 3-episode rule. Because it's really unfair to judge something on just 2 episodes. Because, like I say, the first episode sets up the main character. Really good start for our character, like an intro. If the show ended there, I could almost you've just set up a legend of a character, and it's like, right, I don't even need to know where he goes from here. I was like, right, that's just the character set up. It's almost a complete little thing in itself. You could just go, bam, let's watch for episode 1. But then episode 2, as I say, is like, right, you're pushing both together, are you? I want to say a quiet taste at the moment, but yeah.
It's an acquired must watch.
I love the Kanpai Cast lines up. Yeah, so there's a really good reason why it's episode 3, because episode 3 would be a point at which I could see, right, okay, you've set this up. Like, literally, episode 2, I think it ends? No, they killed that thing. It's to see what episode 3, it's like, right, we've established the main character, we've established the world setting, we've given our motivation, let's see what you can do, which is going to be episode 3. And I'm like, So, I would love to just give this a must-watch slap tab right now. But yeah, at the moment I'm going to say a quiet taste. But yeah. So as for the thing, we have demons exist as a thing in the world, and our main character has one as a pet, which is a called Chainsaw Dog. Which you can see. Yep, Chainsaw Dog. Are we all watching this, by the way?
Yes, we are.
I haven't started yet. Yes.
It's not demons, it's devils.
Devils.
Yes. Because
very important difference.
No, there is a difference, because you have devils, fiends, and other things. So, and they have different powers and rankings and tiers and stuff like that. So they're all devils.
If I look at devils, okay, what it's probably going to say?
Demons.
Loz, have you read? I know Xeno's read the manga. Have you read the manga?
I have not. I have no idea what's coming. I've just seen episode 1 and 2. Episode 1's very good and very slow at first, but it's like, okay, but we want to give you this really cool moment, and it does do well. So we've got a world in which devils exist, and our main character is one who has one. And at the start, I'll just go from the start. So yeah, we have a world of devils in, and our main character is a boy whose parents have died, and they owe a debt to, I assume, the local Yakuza? I think it's the Yakuza. Is it Yakuza?
Demon Yakuza. Devil Yakuza.
No, the normal Yakuza, just the normal Yakuza. And the stupid thing of like the debt falls onto him.
Oh,
I do not understand things like that. It's like,
well, they're criminals. They don't care.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like, well, what? So first of all, this character sets out where he has literally sold his eye, he sold a kidney. He's just doing this. Or his whole life is just bent around fulfilling this obligation of paying the debt, and that's all he is. And he is literally living in a shack, just doing jobs of killing demons for the Yakuza to pay his debt, and it's just ridiculous. They are literally working him to the bone, having him in this terrible situation, so he just dreams of a better life. And how he kills demons is he's got his friend, which is a pet devil, which is a little chainsaw dog, which has a grip at the top and a grip at the back, and you don't actually ever see him use it, I don't think, to attack things.
That's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point. I assume what it is, he uses like a chainsaw and he can attack, because it's a devil itself. It can then kill other devils with him helping it. And then he does that to help to just get money. And then eventually he gets betrayed, and his a change happens, and he becomes the Chainsaw Man, which is described in episode 1. I don't really want to give spoilers, because I normally, like in episode 1, I would just be like, oh, it's episode 1, just watch it and give plot. But I just feel it does such a good job of making him into this Chainsaw Man, and then when he goes from it, and then he gets recruited to basically go kill devils elsewhere, and his debt is lifted because he's free now, and then he's just going to do his own stuff. So it's like, it's really interesting the way it sets it up, and describes the character.
You know why his debt's lifted, right?
Yes, but that's part of a spoiler. But isn't it?
I was like, wait a second, did you miss that? Yeah, okay, cool.
No.
He gets betrayed and killed, and then resurrected by the daughter of the devil, and gets a power suit with a crystal embedded in it.
But by a girl from a nearby school with a chest.
Yeah.
He becomes the chainsaw piece.
Yeah.
Rook, knight, pawns, chainsaw piece. It's chainsaw chest. It's really good. Yep.
Oh.
But so I don't want to judge it. I don't want to keep moaning about it. It seems very good. The animation is good. What they've done with the story so far is good. Xeno will be able to tell you if it's leading up to the manga. I know they've probably done things differently and chopped probably a little bits out or whatever, or maybe even added this bit or the other to get over some hurdles because they have to get the job done quicker. But the animation is good. The story has potential, and I know this is a very popular one, so we'll see where it goes.
Cool. Right, should we move on to the next one?
It's like you say, should we move on to the next one?
We should move on to the next one.
We should move on.
No, let's not. But we should, but we shouldn't, but we won't.
Right, oh, fucking damn it. Right, okay, so this show called Immoral Guild, brought to you, sponsored by Thaylien.
Ah, yes.
So you know it's going to be dodgy. Sorry, Thaylien.
We love you, you little pervert. Okay. How to best... Right, so... We have our main character. The main character has been training and working in an adventurers guild all his life. Even as a kid, he's been training to become an adventurer. And basically, the job of adventurers is to go beyond the town gate to go maintain balance out in the adjoining forest, so that the monsters don't get out of control and then come and ransack the town. Right. Sorry, yes, you're right, Nasuth. I am right.
I'm gonna get... Right, okay. Pass. It's a pass. Right. I do not recommend this to anyone. Right?
Okay, but does it at least have a harem? Is it a harem anime with an actual harem?
It is a harem anime. Actually, does it? It might count as a harem anime. But I just have to point out, getting these screenshots was very difficult. because there are so much of the content that is not safe for screenshots. And it's just, why have you suggested this to me?
You know why he suggested it. So we can hear so we can hear this, explanation right now.
Right. So I just want to point out, we got these cute little squirrel things, and they are just like the janitorial staff for this Adventurers Guild. They are adorable, right? They appear in every episode. They are cleaning something, they are maintaining something. They're just adorable. But the main character, who is trying to, he's trying to quit, right? He's been an adventurer all his life. He's trying to quit, and the receptionist woman at in the guild, she's like, no, don't quit. You know, train up a protege. And basically, he gets 4 of the most incompetent female adventurers ever, and it always devolves into the same smut. And I'm probably gonna keep watching it to see if it gets any better, but seriously, it's on fucking thin ice, right? But yeah, jeez Louise, I don't think I've got anything more I can add to this. It do be like that. Seriously, I'm also really happy that Nasuth is where he is right now, because yeah,
she not wearing too much.
The cat girl, her idea of social attire is Japanese gym uniforms.
Okay.
And it is a little too tight. And the stupid thing is, they go like, oh, we should go shopping and get you some proper clothes. Never happens. Yep. So
are you sure this isn't a hentai? Henty?
I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. But anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Tiger and Bunny. Oh, I'm giving this one a rating of why did they make it? No, it's nothing special.
Right.
I love Tiger and Bunny 1, right? Tiger and Bunny 1.
Sorry, just to point out, this is part 2 of season 2.
I rewatched the entire season 2. Up until I couldn't stand it anymore, which was 3 episodes into part 2. But yeah, why I loved season 1, and I couldn't remember too much of season 2, the first part, so I rewatched it, and I remembered why I couldn't remember much of season 2. There's a lot of just faffing about. There's a lot of like weird false tension between Tiger and Bunny. It turns into kind of like My Hero Academia. What did I put? My Hero Academia meets Kamen Rider meets X-Men, but the bad guy is both Magneto and the Senator, and with the twin albino enemies from The Matrix. And that literally just sums up all of the first part of season 2.
That's X-Men, but the bad guy's both Magneto and the Senator.
Remember the Senator that was trying to outlaw mutants? Yeah.
Between albino and...
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that really sums it up. And it's so unmemorable because nothing really happens until the very end, where they leave you on this cliffhanger that gets resolved in the very next episode. You know, when they come back for part 2. And oh god, it's just there were a lot of parallels to AIM, where it felt like they're, you know, AIM is trying to, like, they're Bandai trying to make a different Gundam that's not a Gundam that's not Gundam. This feels like they're trying to make Kamen Rider that's not Kamen Rider. And
does it actually like, I mean, you're saying that there's like all this false tension between Tiger and Bunny, like,
yeah,
that was not there at the end of the first season.
No,
right?
No, they'd buried all their hatchets. They'd come together as a team. Yeah. They were a really good duo, and it starts out kind of that way in season 2, and then they're like, oh yeah, but Bunny's gonna leave you, Tiger, because you're too old. Bunny's gonna leave you for this other girl whose name I can't remember, the Ice Woman girl person thing. And it's her partner whispering into Tiger's ear, trying to drive a wedge between those two, and it's just that's not the only example of that. That's just the one that sticks out most in my mind.
So really, this feels a bit like a cash grab.
Yeah. I feel like, because, like I said, they have that My Hero Academia feeling too. It feels like they're trying to almost expand it to focus on these other heroes that aren't Tiger and Bunny.
Right.
And yeah. Right around the time they started doing the filler episodes in part 2, I was like, I'm out. They didn't need to, part 1 didn't need to be that long. I don't know why they're making more filler. They could have condensed this all down to 12 episodes. So yeah, it's just stop after Tiger and Bunny 1. That's my best advice to you.
Fair. So it just doesn't live up to the expectations of the first one, then?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
That one was such a well-crafted arc from beginning to end, where they start out as like almost rivals, and and end up as buddies. Buddy cops.
Yeah.
Bad.
Okay. Are you ready, Loz?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You want to do this one next, Loz, or do you want to do a different one?
Yeah, sure. No, just go with anything, man.
Yeah? Alright.
As people know, there are timestamps in the description and also chapters, so you can skip to what you want to watch. There's no reason to do anything in order. People can go, I want to know what Loz wants to think about that. Well, they can find it easily.
Yep.
So, okay, we're on Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch of Mercury. I've just watched episode 4. Have you watched this, Xeno?
Oh, hells yeah.
I haven't watched 4, but I have watched the first 3.
First 3. Okay, cool. Yeah. It is first of all, I do want to say it does look beautiful. This is you have to give it that it does not skip on the money. Mechs look cool, animations look cool, characters look beautiful, settings are wondrous. Space is cool. We haven't done much in space yet, but space is also cool. This is Gundam in a new setting. This is a new universe. So if you've never gotten into Gundam before, you do not even need to know what a Gundam is, because Gundam in this show is a different meaning of the word Gundam, which happens in several shows. So you don't need to go see any other Gundam. You can just pick up this and see, okay, do I like this? And it's a bit of a different thing, because Gundam does do a lot with kids. It does. People don't realize it. But even the original, it was focusing on the main character was a kid. A lot of Gundam shows do. So it's like, it is a bit different though. It is set in a school as the main setting. What would you rate it? Oh god, must watch.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
It can't not be.
It can't not be. It's fun. It's a good Gundam show so far. It is, just watch it. I mean, it doesn't focus. You're not spending every single minute focusing on the mechs. We're spending a lot of this thing on the school, and we're also setting up the setting, which is in Gundam style. Very interesting setting with a lot of conflict between Earth and space, and humanity trying to progress and things, which is kind of cool. So there is a prologue as well, technically. So in fair, we've had 5 episodes. We had like episode 0, which was you do want to go watch that.
You really do, yeah.
Though I would say that is more traditional mechs in a episode. You could just start on episode 1 and go up to watch episode 4 and then rewatch that later. You don't need to see it, but it does help with the context.
See, oddly enough, I did actually show a friend from episode 1, and I really regretted it. I do highly recommend. Go on YouTube, go to Gundam Info, and watch the
prologue. Yeah, prologue's on
prologue.
YouTube.
I fucked up that.
It kind of gives you at least a basic idea of what the Gund is and why they're outlawed, and
No, you don't. Well, even that I'm dubious on why they're outlawed. Anyway, so what is the unique thing for this setting? Let me do this setting. So humanity has entered into space, and we are improving in technology. And at the same time, we are building space colonies, and we're building giant robots, because when we get into space in reality, we'd better build some giant robots. There's no need to go into space. We better build some giant robots. The different unique thing in this setting of Gundam is that we are doing a lot with almost like transhumanism, with the replacement of body parts of people with mechanical components. And this is allowing people to interface with machines as well. And the main way, I think the replacement of body parts, the technology is called Gund.
Yeah, I don't know if it stands for anything, but it's called, they're all called guns.
Yeah, it's called guns, yeah. And
G-U-N-D.
I doubt we've got the image, but there's this lovely image, which is brilliant, it's a view from the back of somebody with their whole rear replaced with cybernetics, basically, and it looks amazing. But people are able to interface with our giant robots using our weird cybernetic enhancements. However, sort of Pacific Rim style, if anyone's seen that movie, it puts a lot of stress on the mind and the body of the person connecting to the machine. I don't know why, it just does. That's just you just have to accept it. It just does.
What do they call it? Parmet? Because like she's the only one that can go past Parmet 33.
Leia.
That was
Leia.
only in her one machine though. That was only in mentioned elsewhere and everything else. So anyway,
but there's also like mining for I don't know.
There's a resource that they're mining on
Mercury.
Mercury, but they also can now get it on the moon. Apparently, because that's mentioned in the last.
I thought it was asteroids.
No, they say on the moon. They can even farm
okay.
But anyway, so Earth. Sorry, we're in space. We are developing giant robots, and we've got this technology. However, it's causing a lot of stress on people if they connect with these people. And a robot that's enabled to connect with human cybernetics is called a Gundam. That's Gundams. They get banned because the overload is actually killing people.
Wait,
or putting them in the hospital. And I don't get this, but this is why I'm a bit on the setting, because there's all these you see protests saying like Gundams killed my daughter or something. It's like, well, in theory, they're not widespread. You could just volunteer to use them, and they're still clearly in the testing phase. So I don't get how they killed your daughter. So it seems a bit weird.
Just to clarify, this is in the prologue.
This is in the prologue, yeah. So Gundams and the ability of robotic enhanced people to connect with their robots is banned. Because when you do that, you can control the robot to a ridiculous degree. That's banned. Now,
I thought it was technically a Gundam, but they shortened it to Gundam.
But then shortened to Gundam.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, many years later, even though that somebody, in the prologue, somebody's trying to perfect the Gundam, and in the prologue there is a school, and we're in the future. Gundams are banned, and all these different companies are vying for capitalism control of giant robots, which is kind of cool as a setting. And the main head honcho over all has set up the school almost first to teach people in training robots, but also that the person who can win in these duels at the school gets to have his daughter, and obviously then control of the company in the future as a reward. And then that's our setting for our thing. And into that, our protagonist steps with her. It's not a Gundam. It's, what did she call it?
Lilith. No, Aerith.
Ariel.
Ariel, yeah. With her, it's a Gundam. It's not a Gundam. It's a Gundam. It's Ariel. And then she tries to compete in the school, and So that's our setting. It's really cool. Just go watch it. If you've never seen Gundam before, give it a watch. It's pretty fun.
If you have watched Gundam before, just to highlight that it isn't just primarily set in the school. That's kind of what I thought it was going to turn into. Is this just going to be Harry Potter Gundam?
No. So it is trying to apparently reach out to different demographics a bit by adding school.
Yeah.
You see this because they did Gundam Build Divers before, which was an Isekai Gundam show. They were like, Isekais are popular, let's make a Gundam show. This is like, we need to make a mainline show. Schools and school drama. Let's have some of that in a Gundam show. But he says it's worried if it was going to be Harry Potter. To me, it's like, this is a Gundam show, and then they got a cloth and just loop the cloth over that says school, and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah, it's like a military school, but it's not really a military school. It's very weird.
Well, my point was that I was scared that they were going to remove the politics, but they haven't. They kept this it's right there.
Yeah, I love that this one is doing corporatocracy rather than just your normal autocracy or whatever, oligarchy or whatever.
Yeah,
I love it.
I do like that this Gundam show has done a flip on the normal way, where normally Earth people are always seen as superior, and Spacenoids or whatever, the people in space, are always the ones oppressed. I mean, that's why Xeon was founded, because the Earth Alliance of Earth were pushing down on them. This is the other way around. Obviously, when the people in space were able to make cool giant robots and everything and get the big companies and had the big booms, they then turned around and started oppressing Earth. And I'm like, okay, it's a flip on the normal things. It's good. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna point out again. I don't like how r/Gundam, the Reddit one. You put any defense or any just like complaints or anything about not these two characters instantly being shipped and they're gonna marry and have 1 billion kids and they're gonna have all that. You just get attacked, and it's just like
well, they are
happen,
clearly.
Man.
I mean, they clearly are going to have 1 billion
Just
kids.
let the show happen, man. It's so good. Just let it happen. If they do, if they don't, I don't care. I'm just enjoying the show. But it just really annoyed me that I wanted to go like see what people were saying about the show, and that was the battle of we have to convince everyone that oh my god they're such a pair and oh my god it's like
it honestly made me.
That's a good show.
It honestly made me think of Utena because they've got the premise of that one is that they're also dueling for the right to be the suitor towards the Rose Bride. So yeah. And it's also two girls that end up together.
No.
Let's move on, because we've got more.
It's Gundam. Sorry.
We could go on for Gundam forever. Yeah.
You could just give me a whole episode talking about Gundams. Anything.
Right. It's totally worth watching. So right. Okay. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Urusei Yatsura. Right. So this was originally done in, I think, the early 1980s.
Something like that, yeah.
It is based on a manga that was done by the same author that did Ranma Half. Only 2 episodes are currently out, and I'm on the fence on this one. I think this is an acquired taste. There's got a lot going for it. The animation is really, really good. The pacing of the plot is fun. What were you gonna ask?
Does it feel like old classic anime, just like sharper and better?
It does. It genuinely does. So
that's awesome.
I'm really impressed with. So if you look at like the old stuff, we don't actually have it unfortunately, but the old stuff, like it doesn't look nearly as
crisp.
I want to say vibrant. No, vibrant. I would say is a good word to compare it to. But this one still carries a lot of the same energy, right? And I'm really impressed by how something that the source material was done so long ago could be adapted so well. The animation's brilliant. The plot is okay. I mean, it's better than Ranma Half, but that does not set a high bar. It's fun. I still want to cast judgment later on, but to give you the idea, basically aliens came to Earth in their zeppelins,
like they
and
do.
They are ogres. They are like these demonic ogres. They look like people, but they have these horns, right? These small horns. And there's a lottery, and the lottery is that this one Japanese teen playboy who's constantly trying to get with every girl he possibly can while still having a girlfriend ends up. So he is picked in this lottery to play tag with the demon leader's daughter, right? And the idea is that he has 10 days. If he catches her in 10 days, then Earth is spared and they're allowed to go back to their normal lives and so on and so forth. Problem is that when they come to play this game of tag, they discover she can fly. And he really struggles to catch her, but obviously on the 11th hour, at the last second, he actually ends up catching her, and humanity is married. Oh, wait. Yeah, so here we have, he's trying to catch her, but he just can't because she's up in the air. So, yeah, so he's really depressed as he's trying to do this, and his girlfriend at the time says, like, even if you're, an outcast by humanity, I'll still marry you or whatever. And that kind of gets him, like, that gives him the motivation to actually, like, strive to succeeding in things. And then, as he does end up catching her, he ends up proposing to her by accident. And as a result,
Proposed by accident.
Alien customs. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No. So he's imagining marrying the girl, right? His girlfriend. He's imagining marrying his girlfriend while he's trying to capture. He's like that glimmer of hope, and it's like
it's one of those situations where it's like, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, so he grabs the alien demon girl by the ankle and goes like, I will marry you, or something like that. The alien demon girl's like confused as hell, gets caught and everything, and just like, oh. And then, yeah, she falls head over heels for him. It's like, it's really fucking, it is stupid, don't get me wrong. But the only problem is that this Playboy he gets like so much abuse. So the demon girl will just, she'll turn up at school and just be there during the course of his class, just constantly being like giggling or whatever while they're trying to study. He gets the flack for it. She gets fed up with something he does. She electrocutes him. It's a really abusive relationship. And I kind of hope that the whole series isn't just gonna be that. But I do quite like to. It's basically 10-minute episodes, but they're like back-to-back kind of thing. So yeah, here we go. Here's the girlfriend like losing her shit again, about to throw a telegraph pole at the boyfriend because again the demon girl won't let him go.
Look at that big angry mouth.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, that's her hair, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's her hair getting in front of her face. Okay, sorry, yeah. I'm blind.
You are. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So should we move on to the next one?
Oh man, so much of.
Any questions?
No, yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
Pause. Any questions? No.
What? Is it mine? What?
No. Any questions?
You're fine. Right.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't want to too much because I thing is I know I've seen this character for years and years and years and years and years. I do want to go watch this.
Yeah.
Rather than watch the originals, and if it's good, then it's good. What do you give it?
Acquired taste.
Cool.
Right. Okay, let's move on to Nasuth's next one.
The legend. So many of the ones on my list are like, I watched this and it's all right, but I dropped it. So this one's nothing special. I might keep watching it. So essentially, this is almost exactly like watching somebody play a fully voiced JRPG, and that's fine, but also like I'd rather play the JRPG than watch somebody play it. And that's really what this one feels like. It really kind of feels like we're gonna make a money grab for the name. I mean, it's beautifully animated. Don't get me wrong; it looks gorgeous. Although some of the wide shots, like some of the establishing shots, are a little. What the fuck is that? What is that weird brown thing on my screen? But it's like I said, you've got your white mage, your black mage, your red mage, your hero. They even have the little rabbites, and I can't remember the name of the mushrooms. They've even got like some of those. So there's definitely callbacks to the video game. So for people that don't know, this is based on. I know there's the Secret of Mana, but was there a sequel called The Legend of Mana? I think there was. Yeah.
I think it's one of Joey's favorite games.
It is.
I know Secret of Mana is a beloved classic, although I couldn't deal with the active battle system in that. It didn't work for me. But yeah, it is having a lot of fun with itself. It's not super serious, although there is a plot going on about this race of jewel people. It takes a while to really get going, though. Like, it's only by episode 3 that they really, the hero really gets set on his path for, I'm gonna go stop these jewel people from being exterminated. And he still doesn't have his whole party together either, which is a little bit annoying. I understand they've got to kind of ground you in the universe and stuff, but they could get him some followers a little faster, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one.
Yeah, it's a bit. I do want to. It is something I do want to watch.
Oh,
It looks
also
beautiful.
his you can't see it, but his abs really bother me. Really bother me. Really, I don't know what they were doing, but they look horrible.
Right. This is again, it's a show which I haven't been I didn't play the game of this. I love Secret of Mana. I've played through Secret of Mana multiple times. I've played Secret of Evermore, which is in that series. And then there's also Legend of Mana, which is obviously this one. And then there's Trials of Mana, I think is another game.
Yeah.
There is actually an app game called Echoes of Mana, which has them all in if you want to play an app game. But I don't know what. It's really weird to me that this one got a anime for it. I don't know if this is recopying the story of the game or not. I'd love to get Joey in maybe when the show's finished, just even for a few seconds, just to see if it does or not, if he's watching it. But I definitely do want to pick it up because I do. Oh god, Secret of Mana for me though, it's just the best. I don't get why they just didn't make more Secret of Mana games because it was just so good. I loved it. I loved the world setting. I loved the music. I loved it all.
When I was getting the screenshots for this, it does look fantastic.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, like, so much of it was just people standing around talking.
There hasn't been a huge amount of action, like, at all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting people to, throw a punch or anything like that, but even so, it just felt like I just reverse shot, people talking. And it always felt like the camera was off focus. It should have been focusing on the character that is doing the talking, but it felt like more it's on the focus of the person that's listening. And it was like, what is this? What is this narrative structure? What is this cinematography?
There is definitely a lot of like, oh, remember this thing from the game, or at least that's what it feels like. Remember this thing from the game? Remember this race of not monster, but like other person from the game? This dog person? It's that sort of thing. So it's not offensive. It's watchable. It's just it's just nothing special. It feels like it's just basic fantasy.
If it's not doing it's weird because I'm gonna have to watch this, and I've not played the game either. But I do like the Mana series of games. So there's gonna be some commonalities to it. But if it's not selling look at that. Look at the hair. That's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of what else had such good things with like Made in Abyss. You just looking at shots of it, you're like, oh, want to know more. But then it's like, is this entire game just like nostalgia for the few people who played that game? I think it was on the PlayStation as well. I'm just like, it just seems weird to me. It seems really weird if they're not setting up the story and they're just like nostalgia baiting the whole thing. Because I don't think there's an app game coming out just for Legend of Mana. I mean, there already is Echoes of Mana, which covers all the games. So I just don't get it. It's very strange.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, the story is only about these gem people that can do things, sort of, maybe, kind of.
Weird.
But maybe not. Alright. I think that's it for that one.
Cool. Right, okay, so it's Loz's next one. That one. There we go. I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss.
It's time for LOZ, the trio of isekai shows that are alright. I would love to give this one a must-watch, but in reality, I would say this one's an acquired taste.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's fine. There is I would say a little bit of blandness about it. I don't know why, and the fringes like that. The assistant guy here. Anyway, so what this is a quite taste. We have an isekai on our hands, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, and everything else.
LOZ.
So what?
Nothing. I don't want to do time travel-y stuff in the show, so I'll save it for later.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so we have an isekai. This isekai very similar. You see Villainess in the title, very similar to another isekai. Yeah, it's an isekai. Yeah, with Villainess in the title from last year, I think. So in this one, we have a female main character who realizes they are the villain, and shortly, if they don't do something about it, they're going to end up with a bad end, because the heroine is going to beat the end boss with a holy sword, and the end boss is a demon, and none of the endings had a particular happy ending for this blonde character who was the main villain throughout the story. You know, the antagonist, the female antagonist at the school, because it's always a school.
Always.
Is it a school? Yeah, it is a school.
Is it a demon school?
No.
Oh.
Demons are separate. Demons have to stay separate as part of the pact from the war or something. But the interesting way that our character wakes up at a point at which they have just been disowned by the main love interest, the prince of the kingdom. And the solution she comes up with, well, I'm not going to die. I'm going to... what's the term she uses? Tame? I think she says tame. I'm going to tame the... Yeah, it's actually the title. I'm going to tame the M-Boss. And so she then goes on a bit of a crusade to help out what is going to be the M-Boss, who will turn into the Demon Lord. He's a nice guy, really. He's just a nice guy. And she's going to get him on her side, and she says, I'm going to marry you. And then it's a bit of hijinks from there on. And it's pretty nice. It's wholesome. I like the setting. I like the main character and their ability to twist and turn around using a bit of their foreknowledge, but then events don't always, because they're trying to play against the game, because that's the Isekai thing. It was a game in this person's life, but then the person then died, obviously, and then come into the character of Villainess. They're trying to play the game while getting a happy ending. At the same time, she kind of does fall in love with the Demon Lord for real. And
so,
yeah, that's pretty much the setting. I say, as I said, acquired taste. I see the Masters hovering on must watch. We've already had the stamp. Yeah.
Oh no, we already did the stamp. No. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is she still trying to be bad while getting a good?
Nope.
Like, is she trying to be a villain?
She's focusing more on surviving.
Okay.
She's not a nasty person by character.
By nature,
She does. In fact, she's like, events would happen where she's like, this is when this event happens when I'm supposed to kidnap her. And she doesn't. She's like, well, I'm over here doing something else. So
right.
I'm not going to go kidnap her. You know.
Okay.
It's like you're supposed to torment the main character, like, hand half on the sort of laughing kind of thing. But that's the character she's supposed to be, and she's like,
nah.
I'm going to marry the Demon Lord. That's more fun.
Make him into a good boy.
Well, he already is a good boy. It's just that he gets betrayed. He always was a good boy. But so that's the setting, and I think it's good. Can we have a spoiler though? Because I want to say for a little bit of spoiler. I won't ruin everything, but I just want to say, so why it's a bit of spoiler? Because we've had 4 or 5 episodes so far. 5.
There's 5. I haven't seen the 5th yet.
5. Okay, right. So I won't spoil too much for Xeno either. But the first 4 episodes complete the arc of the story. The main event of where the heroine is supposed to kill the Demon Lord with the Holy Sword. That happens in episode 4.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow. I thought we were going to waste like 10, 12 episodes on this. Do it episode 4.
It's like, yeah.
It's what are they doing with it
like,
now?
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good thing. Like it's like they aren't slowing down. They aren't taking their time. But what could lead to this thing that something?
How are we going to destroy this giant spirit turtle?
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't have minded another episode or even 2 to fill in some of the story events that happen in the first game and how she overcomes them. I enjoy the character and her managing the scenarios. So the fact that we rush straight to the end event of the storyline by episode 4, and then a bit of a spoiler, I already told Xeno this, so it's not really that bad, is that in episode 5 onwards, like, oh wait, that's the plot of the sequel, but I don't know much about the sequel. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can see where this is going, and continuing on.
Interesting.
Sort of like, obviously, for the first 4 episodes, she had a good knowledge of where it's going to arc out, and then she doesn't know as much for what's into the sequel. I thought that's a good way of doing it. I liked it, and obviously because of her effect on by episode 4, which would have been the first game, and she changes the ending, obviously, or what's going on.
Right.
That will then change what is actually happening in what was the sequel. Like characters, that character's supposed to be dead or defeated. They're then like a main character in what's happening in the sequel.
It's off the rails now.
So with the more changes she's made, the more off the rails it is. So now she's going to have to try and figure things out. And I'm really enjoying it. I think the characters are fun. Yeah, it's good. Do you know?
I completely concur. I think it's a really, really good series. They've done an excellent job with it, and I can't wait to watch more. It doesn't feel so. I watched the first 2 seasons back to back of Ascendance of a Bookworm, and I know a lot of people have high praise for Ascendance of a Bookworm. It does a lot really, really well, but it's so slow. By the end of the... Have you seen Ascendance of a Bookworm, Loz?
No, it keeps coming up and it's having a chance to watch it.
So basically, isekai, main character, is like, she's a brand new world, and she's a giant bookworm. She just wants to I'm in a new world. I'll read all the books here. And it turns out that it's like, pre-industrial revolution kind of setting where reading is for nobility and no one else. So there are no books for the commoners. And she sets out to make printing presses and, refined paper and things like this. And the problem is, the whole of the first season is basically her creating paper, and it's just it's quite slow. This is lovely, fast, and to the point. So that's one of the big benefits to this series.
That actually doesn't sound too bad. Yeah.
Oh, that's Pokemon. Yeah, I need to pick up that.
Yeah.
Though interesting, I can't remember the second one now, but I think this is the third isekai in which. Yes, it is. It is. Sorry, if I remember the term. This is the third isekai in which the main character. One of the things the main character does, especially to earn money or whatever business, is sell cosmetics.
I know Ascendance of a Bookworm does it.
Does it do it as well? Cosmetics for right.
Yeah.
Assassin did it because he knew about emulsifiers and they didn't have that in the world. So it's like, all the women of the world love it, so he makes a lot of money off that.
The pharmacy one.
Pharmacy one does it, and it does actually an interesting one because it actually teach you a bit, because back then they used to use lead in the white powder, so it's killing it. So he comes up with a thing of that. And now this one does it, but this one just touches on it gently because she obviously the prince is trying to screw over at all times and take her money, so she needs some business, and so she's got that. And then you say Ascendance Bookworm does it as well. It's what is it with Japan and trying if you isekai learn everyone learn how to make modern cosmetics. So that when you get to make a shop in an isekai,
if you're going to try and bilk people out of money, bilk the rich out of their money, a good way to do it.
Yep.
I think there's another one called Slow Life with a Drugstore does the same thing again.
Right, yeah. So just if you ever get isekai, what you want to do now is you want to look up. Just take 10-15 minutes on Wikipedia. Look up how emulsifiers work, how to make white powders that are safe, and lipstick, and and creams. Right, and if you can remember how to make those, their thing, you're set for an isekai. That's your side job done.
Glass
it happens so often. I just think it's so weird. It's why is this a recurring thing?
Why doesn't anyone learn how to make a battery out of potatoes?
Exactly. Yeah. Why isn't that the solution? It's
I know how to do
light. Look at this amazing thing. I've used potatoes to provide light. Everyone can have a potato light at home.
Burn him!
Oh yeah, because the cosmetics aren't witch-like. Anyway,
no, that's fine. That's just making people look pretty.
Okay, so time to move on to my next one, which is Beast Tamer. So this is one that I was interested in watching. Got thrown at Immoral Guild first and decided I hated myself. And didn't start watching this until today. And I binge watched the whole thing. This is certainly an acquired taste. It is a fantasy setting, very similar to most isekais, where the main character is a beast tamer, but doesn't realize how powerful he is. In the start, he is fired from the hero group. What's up, Loz?
I want an isekai in which the person is literally just a normal person and doesn't get any OP things and just has to no.
We have that. We have that. It's called no.
Rising of the Shield Hero.
No. It's Konosuba. He doesn't get anything in that.
I'm
he doesn't
sorry.
get fucking anything in that.
A goddess and an
that is useless.
Useless.
Oh yeah,
she's utterly useless.
Yeah. Absolute broken luck stats.
Yeah, that's the base
okay, fair.
For.
Yeah,
absolutely broken on that, right? What was the other one? Shield Hero. I'm sorry, you are one of the 4 legendary heroes, one of these ultimate.
But he has to work for it. He has to work for it.
No, he has to work for it. But I want someone who imagine Shield Hero, but literally,
No shield.
You don't start with shield.
Okay. There's another one which is I think it was like a Black Company, something about Black Company. I can't remember what it's called. Where basically this guy who has no affinity, he gets isekai'd, has no affinity for magic whatsoever, whereas the rest of the world setting does, and he basically creates a company thing, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going into a dungeon and I'm tricking people to do things. Yeah, there you go. There's your.
If that doesn't end with "I invented guns," then I'm going.
I invented guns.
It's like, let me cast a spell. I've got magic too. It's called guns.
Can I ask? Can we reset my timer because I have not actually spoken about this at all? Right. Okay. So I think I gave it an acquired taste.
You did.
So the series is set around this one character who is quote unquote the Beast Tamer. Oh no shit, the fucking thing's named after him. And he was part of
Beastmaster was taken.
The heroes party, right? So the main hero who would go fight the Demon Lord and everything. His party, he basically got fired from it because the Beast Tamer, like, all he was good for was recon and carrying supplies, like, you convince bulls and things to carry their, or bears to be their pack mule effectively. So they fired him, right? And he decides, well, what am I going to do now with my life? And he chooses to go and become an adventurer. So on his first quest as an adventurer, he discovers a cat spirit. Well, basically, it's a cat girl, right? I don't know why they put spirit on the name. Apparently, girls. I don't know. So yeah, he discovers a cat girl, and because he is so good as a beast tamer, they hire him. So he
tames her.
Joins forces. Yeah, he tames her. She joins. So they join forces. He tames her, and they kind of go on adventures and things like that. And at which point in time, she discovers that as a beast tamer, he can actually tame multiple beasts at the same time. So he can tame like different animals at the same time. And it's like most beast tamers can only do one thing at a time. Like, and you could do multiple and stuff. And yeah,
please tell me he summons an army of squirrels at some point or something similar.
Rabbits.
So
right,
yes!
So he gets it gets really cool. So they got to do a fetch quest, and he basically gets one rabbit. So he tames the one rabbit as on a temporary contract. That rabbit then goes and gets all its rabbit friends to come back. He then tames all of them with the temporary contract to go then fetch the herbs. And this is the cat girl freaking out. Is like, wait a second, what, you can do multiple taming? And yeah, so she like. So what good is she, sort of thing. But later on, they end up encountering a dragon girl, and so basically the dragon girl, like, she sets up base on or base of operations on this bridge, and refuses to let anyone pass the bridge unless they fight her and things.
Oh, is that who the red one is?
That's who the red one is.
Okay.
But basically, so they do the job. They beat the dragon girl, and the dragon girl swears that she won't prevent anyone from crossing the bridge again. And they go to the guild. They explain the situation, and the guild receptionist, she turns around and says like, so who's the girl in the back? And she tries to proclaim herself as, I am the mighty dragon who blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, shut up. And she's constantly trying to introduce herself as the mighty dragon that basically was terrorizing this bridge to literally everyone. And they have to drag her out of the town to stop her.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying this. A lot. I think it has a lot of potential. And there's already like shenanigans going on. The hero party has made a couple of reappearances within the narrative, so I think that this could have a lot of potential to be a decent series. Any questions?
Is it a straight fantasy or is it an isekai?
Straight fantasy. There's no isekai going on here, and apparently he is a beast tamer, but he comes from like a village of beast tamers, and they can all do the same thing he can.
Ooh.
Yeah, but apparently, like, so the cat spirit and the dragon spirit, they're both rare spirit creatures. So, like, you know, they're really super rare and things, and hard to find and stuff like that. And he fucking stumbles on 2. So yeah.
Just like Bofuri.
Just like Bofuri.
I love Bofuri.
Which is a
I'm gonna log in. Oh look, rare boss that gives me the ability to become God.
Yeah. Right. Any other questions? No.
Nope.
This is.
I just load it into a new tab. I'm gonna watch it afterwards.
Yeah. These are the 2 characters, the 2 girls that are like fighting over the bed while the beast tamer is just sleeping on the floor. Right. Okay. Then I will hand over to Nasuth.
So we are doing. Yeah, Spy Family Part 2, Season 1 Part 2. And this, if you've already watched Part 1, this is so far a must-watch. I'm cautious about this. It could change in the future. It could slow down. But the first 3 episodes are really good, really well-paced.
Yep.
The spy action is really good. But that's the problem. I think we're gonna get all the spy action now, and the next 4 or 5 episodes, it's just gonna be Anya at school, or Anya with the dog. I don't know.
So this is the bomb arc, let's say, is what it's called. And me and Xeno were the whole of season 1. Were like, are they going to try and squeeze this into the end of season 1,
right?
Or are they going to wait to season 2? And obviously, they went to season 2. I think they did it great justice. It was so good.
It was essentially 2.5 episodes to take care of the bomb, and then the last half of the 3rd episode was getting like accustomed to the dog and a little bit of a school, a little tiny bit of school, but not much.
Yeah, tiny bit of school. I consider it just one arc, because actually, if you watch the end of season 1, you do see the dog in the cages and the
yes, you do,
and
you
see one flash, which is the dog's foresight of them. So it's like it starts there. So I call it 3 episodes of one arc.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I as for Slowing Down, I can't remember all of it off the top of my head. That arc does stand out in the manga when you get to that bit separately. Afterwards, we are going back into a lot of normal stuff, but then there will still be spy stuff, like Lloyd, I think, has to infiltrate the school to fix stuff and do stuff. And so there are... But this... For actually, the best,
this was so good.
Realising the whole spy family thing, where all 3 characters are all doing stuff, and you're getting that spy and that noir feel, this arc is kind of a peak, so... It
really helped give a feeling of the stakes at play, too. Like if they don't do this, war will happen.
War declared.
Yeah, war declared.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
I liked how, when they... A little bit of a spoiler, when there was the possibility that Lloyd could die, I liked that whole bit. It gave Anya such good motivation to do what she did. That's So far, excellent start to the second half. But we've seen before where the shows have a great start and then they slow down. And
I think it will be not as good. I think that is definitely the peak. I think this is the peak of the season, and it's going to come down a bit after this. But I still think it's going to be good, but not as good. This is what the show should be nothing but this.
Yeah, I liked that we got a little bit of background on the Strix woman too, right here, little tiny bit of background, just a sprinkling. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It should the entire show should be like this.
Yeah, I think that's Xeno's problem with it, is that they do a lot of the school, too much of the school, and not enough of this. Which is a better balance of all 3 things, which is like, you take those 3 episodes, I think like half of the 3rd episode is a bit of school stuff. So there's 1/6 of the show should be school stuff. The rest should be this kind of cool. Yeah, we got it.
They can do more school stuff as long as either Yor or Lloyd are involved somehow. That's the way I would do it.
Did you guys both finish the first season?
I didn't.
Of Spy Family?
Yeah.
You mean the first part of season 1?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
So like
with the filler episode at the very end.
Yeah, well, no, that's not. It's not filler. No, that's in the. That's
it's
in
not.
The
but yeah, it feels like filler.
It
feels out of place.
No, it is in the manga, and it does feel out of place in the manga. It's just a bit weird, like little side story thing. But again, that one episode though, like this 3-episode arc felt more Spy Family than a lot of season 1. A lot of season 1 is just the school stuff, and you just don't care. The fact that they took the dodgeball thing, which was that should have been a third of an episode, and they made a whole episode out of it.
Yeah,
I mean, there was some funny references in there, but it still didn't have to be that long.
But the reason why, obviously, and that's why they extended the bit in the first season with the castle, is because obviously they wanted to make sure that they could push the bomb arc into season 2, so they can do it justice then. So yeah, sorry, back to that.
No, I think Xeno was going to say something.
No, I'm like to be honest, like I read a bit further forward in the manga. The Penguin arc actually happens after this part.
Yeah. So they shuffled it around. Okay.
Yeah. But I got to a point where I was like, I just struggled to keep reading it, and mostly because of what we've been saying. Like I just come on, give me more Lloyd and Yor doing stuff, right? So I have high hopes that this is going to be good, but in all honesty, like I probably won't watch it until the whole thing's out, if I'm going to watch it at all.
That's fair.
That's a shame. For me, it's a must watch. I think the animation is great.
Yeah.
The voice actor's doing a great job. The animation,
so
the art's brilliant. The animation's on point, and it's just so good.
There was one thing I was really disappointed in. The opening and closing are not nearly as stylized and artistic as they were in the first half, and that always makes me sad.
Yeah.
It always makes me sad.
I still love the intro though. The intro.
They're both good.
There's some lovely shots in it. Just as great images. It's like, I see what you mean. Yeah, the intro in the first half was so stylized and everything. But
and even the outro was too.
The outro was as well. This one has there's a shot with Anya hugging Yor as she sort of just it looks like a lazy weekend afternoon in the intro. It's like, I just love that as a background. It's just so good, but it's just a random shot in the intro. But it's just not. Yeah, it's not as good as before.
It's good. It's just not stylized and artsy, and I love stylized and artsy stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a snob.
Right. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so Loz, your next one. Reincarnated as a sword.
Now, I like this. If I was to give it, because I watch all these guys, and to be honest, I would like to give it an acquired taste, but I'm actually going to drop it down to nothing special.
That was my feeling on it too. Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to keep watching it. I look forward to it every week, but I'm still going to give it nothing special. I think I really enjoy it, but I'm trying to think outside myself and be objective, and I feel at the moment it's nothing special. It's really fun, but I say that a lot about things I know. But this is an isekai where a guy gets put, instead of into a body, he's in a sword. That's how he wakes up, and he can then use his powers of levitation and everything to improve his... he can go around killing things, he levels himself up to a point where he's really powerful, and then randomly he gets himself trapped somewhere where he can't move.
In plot convenience for us.
Yes, very much plot convenience for us. And then he has to get picked up by our user, which is this little cat girl, who wants to evolve, and no black cat has ever evolved, and she's a black cat, and she is the user of the guy, and they're sort of making a little cool team duo. I love the interaction between the two characters. I love them both kind of having to explore the world. But they don't have much, neither of them have any knowledge of the world, really. He's just killed monsters within his area where he spawned.
And she was a slave.
She was a child, then a slave, so she doesn't really know much about the world. So I'm watching them explore. It's really cool. I like the fighting style between the two of them, because obviously the sword is a weapon as well, so it can cast spells while she does something, and they can work together as a team, which is really cool. We got this dwarf guy. He's the only one who also knows the sword can talk, because he's got what looks like he's just got an infected eye, his god eye, which he can actually assess the sword, and he sees that it's actually an intelligent sword, and he talks to it, so he's the only character that does that. I just don't think it spends a lot of time building up the sword and what the sword can do, and the sword leveling up and things, and then it's only now that we're really like, right, we're not a slave girl anymore, we're not a sword that's leveling up, we're both as a team, we're now leveling up as a team, and we're going to see where it's going to go. Overarching goals, though, for the season, I know that the black cat wants to evolve, and that's never happened before, and the sword doesn't, I don't know why, he's just like, well, I'm a sword.
He wants to be the best sword in the world.
At the start, when he wakes up, some god being that put him there does say a line to him of you can have some hardship or something in front of you, and then it's like, who are you? What's going on? Then doesn't talk again. I don't know what that is. So
he's like, I'm out of here.
Fun.
Yeah.
The world is fun. The fact that the sword is fun. The setting is cool. The relationship between the two characters really cool. I love the dynamic, but I'm just like, well, where are we going with this? What's going to happen? What's the overarching thing? And it kind of just, it's just fun. If you switch your brain off, you'll enjoy this. But if not, you're like, where's it gonna go?
No, go ahead, Xeno.
I will say, for me personally, I do count this as an acquired taste. I really enjoy this one. Of all there's a level of charisma that this has that I don't think any of the other isekais in this season have. And I really like the bond and the relationship that are had between Fran and Teacher.
Yeah, Teacher's the name of the sword.
It does feel a lot like Skeleton Knight, sort of in that vein of isekai, rather than...
No, think of it more as... Oh, yeah, think of it more as Shield Hero, because the girl does start off pretty poorly, but if Raftalia picked up the shield, and the shield is now Fumi.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is what this is.
And I always love the fact that pretty much everything that's going on in the world always boils down to this area, like this 5-ring area that the sword utterly destroys within the first episode. The sword
woke up in the middle and then figured out that as the further you got from the sword, the more powerful the monsters were for some reason. So he destroyed everything in the middle area of Area 1, then it moved on to Area 2 and Area 3. And then it after it exited Area 5, plot convenience, it fell in the ground, and the ground started sucking its mana so it couldn't do anything. But then a lot of the stuff when they get to the town and what's happening in the town are saying, oh yeah, we're investigating this area where all the monsters died, and it's like, the sword's like, yeah, that's where I killed everything.
Yep.
Yes,
so, I very much enjoy this. Go on,
Still watching it.
My big problem with it was, especially because of Plot Convenience Land, the sword functionally is not really different from just being a person. It can float around, it can stab things on its own, it levels up, it gets its own stats. It doesn't really need a wielder, except for Plot Convenience Land, because he can't move around.
I'm just going to point out, like, please tell me what people can just, like, float around and stab people.
Skeleton Knight? Skeleton Knight.
But I would conflict that a bit, Nasuth, with the fact that the sword, the whole time, though, was... This person woke up as a sword and was like, oh my god, I'm going to have the best wielder one day. Because it's still... I don't know if it decided to adjust the personality, the sword, being a sword, just the personality. But it clearly had some want to be wielded by someone. Because it probably thought, at the end of the day, I'm a sword. Whoever
it didn't need to be a sword. It could have just been a person, and it would have been essentially exactly that. He could have found the slave girl. He could have fallen asleep in the swampland instead of getting his mana drained. It didn't... Functionally, it makes no difference whether it's a sword or a person.
But until we get to town, and we can't talk to anyone, and it's sort of like a second person on her shoulder, and sometimes she very cleverly, if you notice, it'll just say things, and she'll just repeat verbatim what the sword said, because she's hiding it. Now, I know what you mean, though, and I want them to play more on that sort of thing. Where she has to hide the sword, or it's like.
To be fair, I gave up really early on. I stopped at the beginning of the second episode.
The big thing is that the sword has like a really big weakness that basically, as soon as it's in like a mana trap with no wielder, like it can't do anything.
Or if it runs out of MP at all. Because it kept having to return to its pedestal to get MP back. And then it kept leveling its MP back so it could travel further and further.
Yeah. So it's like, it needs a wielder. And it realizes that. I think, like, the big thing that the god spirit says, like, you're going to have some hardships ahead of you. Basically, he's going to outlast whoever his wielder is, right? At some point in time, his wielder's going to grow old and die at best. At worst, he's just going to get stabbed. And then he's just going to have another wielder at some point. So, no,
I'd be interested to explore,
Or is he going to sacrifice himself to allow the Black Cat Girl to evolve?
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah. But anyhow, right, should we move on? Right, so my last one.
I did that one under 4 minutes, and I was like, yes, I did one in 4 minutes.
Right, okay, this is Akiba Maid War.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
I still haven't watched episode 3, but
Okay. Right, okay. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, you are.
This to me is 100% an acquired taste. And it's episode 3 that really sold it on this. So, God knows how, like, what Yakuza maids. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. So basically, Akihabara, there's maid cafes everywhere, but for some strange reason, all these maid cafes are just Yakuza gangs, right? And each cafe is against another cafe. They all sort of like hate each other, and they're all got turf wars and stuff like this. And which got memes were made out of the first episode, and you know, as the memes that were coming out of the first episode, basically like, what is this? And I went and checked it out. Yeah, the first episode doesn't really do it justice. You just feel like this one character is just going off the deep end. Second episode, again, it's like,
oh my god, the gambling! I forgot about that. How did I forget about the gambling? Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. How did you forget about the gambling? But anyway, so the second episode, you kind of feel like this. There's more corruption within the actual group itself, but the third episode, where it's effectively a rigged boxing match, is just brilliant. Where our Revy-based character from Black Lagoon, who you can see there holding the
not a gun. That's
not the gun.
Violence on screen without a warning. Oh, it's very tiny. Is that very tiny above your...
Yeah.
Not a gun?
Yeah.
Damn.
No, but I mean, everyone else can read it. Like, we can't because it's too small. But yeah, so it's honestly, it just gets so ludicrous. It's so stupid. We've got the unveiled character in the intro. For some strange reason, they hide one of the characters. But yeah, so this is them. And I find it just so stupid. It is so fun and stupid. And like, what does it mean to be a maid? It's like, you yourself are the only one who gets to decide whether or not you are a maid. Other people could go, you know, rot. And honestly, it's just fun and dumb. It is so serious. Oh God, you know how some things can like take themselves too seriously, right?
And some things try too hard to be silly.
Yeah, right. So this takes itself beyond serious to be silly, right? At one point in time, again, the third episode just really makes it, where the manager of the cafe, who's trying to butter up the this hostess of these illegal boxing matches, like, instead of actually grabbing the ashtray that's literally right next to her, she holds her hands out to collect the ash from the hostess cigarette. It's just like, I have a special breathing technique, so I can't feel the pain. And so again, you know, so the hostess just, you know, flicks the ash off into her hands, and immediately the manager just starts screaming.
It's almost the reverse of Way of the House Husband, where in that one you've got, you know, a Yakuza who's doing these absolutely normal activities in a crazy way. And in this one you've got normal people doing absolutely batshit activity.
Yes, it really is that. It really and like, you know, the monotone notes of this, you know, hard-hitting
blue-haired
maid. The purple-haired maid. The complete ineptitude of the manager. It's, oh God, it honestly, like, the third episode sold it for me. So I'm totally gonna keep watching this.
I do actually want to eventually watch the third episode, because Loz and I struggled. Well, we didn't struggle exactly through the first two. There is a lot of good stuff in there.
It's fair. I think it's fair, because it's like, what is the tone? Where are you going with this? What are you trying to deliver? Like, if you think about it, Konosuba, when the first like 6 episodes are really tame compared to, or maybe the first 5 are really tame compared to the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't really until Darkness was cursed by the Dullahan that she was going to die in 7 days, and you know, if the team didn't come to fight the Dullahan in his ruined castle, that darkness was going to die. And then Aqua just came along and just purified darkness to get rid of the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when it really came into its own and just made itself Konosuba, the iconic series.
Yeah.
This is very, very similar, where from the third episode, it just like, oh, it just all sort of like clicks into place. Right.
Cool.
Let's unless you have any questions. Nope. Okay, then it's Nasuth, your last one.
So Xeno was really curious. Like, he did not understand what he was looking at when he was getting these pictures. This is Housing Complex C, and it is actually a must-watch. I will try to explain why. It's a really, really good supernatural mystery thriller. It's oh man. So it's production IG, and it was actually released for Adult Swim. So there's already an English dub you can watch, which definitely helps with getting into it. It's set in it's almost like a Stephen King novel, where it's set in this peaceful little housing complex where there's a few old people living there. There's a couple of little girls living there. And right away you can almost tell something's wrong because one of the girls talks to her mom, and her mom never says anything back. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's a little weird. Let's keep going. Oh, I forgot. It starts with a flashback to like some time in the past when these people killed an entire group of like priests, or I don't know. But they ended up killing at the very end. They killed one of the girls who jumped in the way to save another one. And it turns out that one of the girls is this one, and the other one comes later with all the immigrants. I know, sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. Right, so it's a nice, calm housing complex, nothing really too weird going on. Old people sit around talking, and all of a sudden this group of immigrant workers comes in, along with their supervisor who is Japanese, and they all start staying at the complex with the normal people, and this is when the weird stuff starts happening. There are these piles of fish that keep appearing, dead fish, and later on they find like roosters and stuff that are also dead, and one of the immigrants says that he's been clearing them away from in front of the girl's door who talks to her mom. The mom who never talks back. So something weird's going on with her, and he's trying to make it so she doesn't see it, so she just, it's fine. Oh gosh, I was going somewhere specifically with that, and I've forgotten.
Guy cleaning up in front of the door.
Yeah. He kind of gets blamed at first, but they realize it's not him. That's part of the what's going on here. There's also this tension between the old people and the immigrants because weird stuff is happening. That was the other one. So we've got the fish, right? And then also there's a weird shut-in kid, one of the other kid, like an older boy, who is really into Lovecraft, draws really weird pictures. One day, he and his mom seemingly have turned to moss. They're just moss now. And more, they find like this old cave that's built, or back in the 40s, they built a lot of bomb shelters over there. And the bomb shelter like goes into a natural cave, and they find like these weird rocks that have symbols on them, and it all kind of connects back to whatever happened in the past. And it just keeps getting weirder and weirder, but like really good, subtle horror ways. Like they don't just come right out and show you, oh, it's a monster. There's a lot of like psychological stuff going on where they build tension and try to make you guess what's going on and who's doing it, and it's I really love that kind of horror where they just I almost compare it to Silent Hill, where like the area is alive. There's a temple up on the hill, but they find out that's not the real temple. The real temple is where the housing complex is built, and that's a lot like Silent Hill, where they built the town on top of something wrong. and that wrongness is slowly bleeding back through into our world. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, any have I managed to explain it well enough? Do you have any questions?
So what I heard was some
Huh?
Scooby-Doo stuff.
So yeah, kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, why is this guy breathing a rainbow?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. Why is this guy breathing a rainbow?
He's not, but there is there is a motif going on with rainbows. And
Okay,
yeah.
no, we're done.
No, it's really good. It's so good. Like, oh, we find out what the mom is, the mom who never talks back. We find out what's going on with that. There's
Is it spoiler time?
No, I'm not spoiling.
It's moving on to.
I'm not spoiling it. Lots of really good historical stuff they find in caves that links back to like this past civilization and.
Are we okay? So this, I mean, it is spoopy. It is spoopiness, spoopy month. So
it is
if you're looking
spoopy
for
month.
some spoopy, this is spoopy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not slasher spoopy. It's Silent Hill spoopy.
Is it though? Is it?
Silent Hill
Yeah, it
spoopy,
is.
Right, but I mean, is it? Have we got a lot of gore? Have we got any warnings?
No gore so far.
No, you said this is Stephen
King. There is the
scary.
dead animals. If you don't like seeing dead chickens and stuff, you might not. I have a problem with that.
And so the rest of it
If you
is
don't
mainly
like seeing moss.
yeah. So very cerebral horror is what you're saying.
Yeah. Very
At the same time,
surreal and yeah.
There is clearly some form of magical thing going on or paranormal.
Yeah, whatever happened in the past with those people killing the little girls is having an echo in our time. Like the two girls are exactly the same.
The thing that gets me is that you're so enthusiastic to this, but it just feels I just want to say it's not. This is not happy. This is spoopy at best.
It's not happy. But yeah, people. There have been more than at least. I said that boy and his mom turned to moss. They're not the only ones.
Right.
So
now,
yeah.
Obviously, it's spoopiness and crazy is happening, but is it depressing spoopy?
And it hasn't been so far.
Right, we're not going to see our this little girl here is being helped out here, and then she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to save some ducklings," and then by saving the ducklings, she gets eaten by ducklings.
Nope. Nothing like that so far.
That then feast upon her.
I don't understand how this is spoopy at all. Apart from this weird guy breathing rainbows.
Because you don't know what's causing all this. You don't know where the dead fish and chickens that are being left as offerings, where are they coming from? Why does this old woman where's this weird chanting that we keep hearing coming from? It's so good. So good.
Have they tried following it? That would probably help.
So they did once, and it led to the immigrants, who are clearly like Pacific Islander Muslim sort of groups. But it wasn't them. It wasn't actually their chanting. That's the thing. It was
different. Confirmed.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
the immigrants.
And then the immigrants.
Okay. No. Right.
Who are clearly Muslims. Yeah.
Let's move on. That's right. Okay. So this is Loz's last one. Come on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now this one is interesting. Now Xeno didn't like this very much, and I can appreciate why. But he doesn't know the depths of bland pointlessness that is the farm.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
And because of that, he doesn't appreciate that this is actually really interesting. I watched this last week. I watched the 3 episodes, and I was like, oh my god, when's the next episode come out? Tomorrow. I'm like, I can't wait for the next episode. It's really odd, really strange the way the plot is moving forward and what is going on with our main character and the world around him and the premise of it. It's a bit odd, but and the one last point is that every episode seems to be a different genre and story.
I told you, it's a bloody Japanese school. What looks like medieval there? Nothing.
They're wearing robes.
So is it like an anthology?
No.
No?
Sorry, someone's right. So, I'm just gonna say spoilers. Okay, no, we need.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna give it an acquired taste.
Oh shoot! Sorry. Yes, you're right. Sorry.
I'll give it an acquired taste. because it has got my interest. I don't want to say it's nothing special because like the farm one, that's like, I know I give it poop, but really that's pass or nothing special. It is literally nothing special. It's just like, and he's just did farming and he now wins against the demons because he farms and used a hoe. It's like, what is going on here? This, however, has my interest. It does have my interest.
Shall we spoiler it up?
Hang on, no. I'm going to try and get a general thing before we hit the spoilers. So this is sort of a Mushoku Tensei isekai situation with someone who's been isekai'd into a world of magic. He is clearly using modern methods of thinking, able to utilize that magic in better ways and understand the reason behind things and use it to become really powerful and do his other things.
Is he brought in as an adult? Or does he have to grow up?
He's a kid. He's a teenager.
Okay.
I think he is younger in the isekai, but we'll get to Nasuth because we'll explain.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Yes.
Of course, he's younger. He was born in the isekai.
Oh no. He gets born in the isekai. Yes. It's just
okay. So he's actually from birth.
We start as a kid and we watch him grow up and things, and we.
That's what I was wondering about. Yeah.
The key thing before we get the spoilers is what's the weird difference about this thing, apart from the fact that. So in this one, the main character always wanted to be a hero in the real world before he got isekai'd, and he was trying to push himself to try and be he never let go of that thing. He was like a bit like a, you know, like, was it Chunibyo?
Yeah.
They say all these things as if they are the hero. No, this kid went out and decided to become a vigilante. He decided to hone himself to the ridiculous level of human being possible, and then he decided, right, I'm going to try and be a hero in the world.
He did 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 push-ups, and ran 10 kilometers.
Exactly that. Actually, that's the exact thing. But instead of becoming One Punch Man, he was still just a normal kid at the end of the day. But he was a very, very athletic kid, but still normal kid. Anyway, gets isekai'd, and then now he's been isekai'd. He's got magic and everything, and he is pretty OP with it because he compared to everyone around him because he appreciate modern thinking. Instead of just going accepting something, you're like, well, why is that? What can I break it down? Can I look at it? Can I take it from a different angle? Right, now I can do this with it, sort of thing. Modern deconstruction method, mental, instead of just accepting things as they are at face value, being scientific method. But at the same time, he's always wanted to be a hero. So one thing he does is he gets a recruit, like a person, it's almost like a harem, but it's not really a harem, but he's getting like subordinates. And the first subordinate he has to come up with a reason what's happening with the subordinate. So he invents an evil organization that's trying to destroy the world. And in fact, that's this person he saves. It's like, that's why you needed saving. It's because of them. They are I can't remember what he calls them. Do you remember what he calls them, Xeno?
The Diablo cult or cult?
The cult of Diablo or something.
He starts a conspiracy theory.
Yes, he starts a conspiracy theory.
My God.
And it literally was on a drinks bottle he saw behind the person he was talking to. And it's the cult of Diablo. Yes. They are behind everything in the world. And like, we must destroy them.
Oh, God.
So then as time goes by, he starts recruiting more people and he has a team of people. And like his sister gets kidnapped. Oh, we're into spoiler territory now. Right, anyway, so no, the key point is like he invents this organization that he wants to be a hero against. The fact is, the organization does actually exist, and it is the cult of Diablo. And that's kind of the bit of the joke. And other people realize this, but he still hasn't by episode 4, and it's really interesting. He made it up, but he actually was right. So he wants to be, his goal is to fight this evil cult that he made up his mind and become like not the hero of the piece. He doesn't want to be the hero. He doesn't want to be the villain now. He wants to be the skilled individual in the shadows. The ultra assassin, the ultra ninja,
the eminence in shadow. I get it.
The eminence in shadow. Nice. That's what he wants to become. He doesn't want to be the hero anymore. Also, directly, he wants to be.
He wants to be the hero behind the hero.
He's become in his isekai thing. It's like, I will be the edgelord character of this story that I'm inventing. Right, that is the setup for the show. I know I'm already on 5 minutes, but it's the last one, so I'm just going to rant. Right, okay. Now go spoilers.
He's the assassin in the Assassin's Creed.
Exactly true. Right. So the thing is, as I said, he's actually right. This organization exists and runs with that name, and it's really weird the way they showed us. Now, I want to put spoilers. I want to get on this because this Xeno didn't like it at first, but I think I'm really appreciating it. I'm so looking forward to where this is going to go. It might be awful. It might be good. Anyway, so each episode is almost a little bit to the things itself. Episode 1, we're in the normal world. He is fighting as a vigilante using crowbars, and he's like. A friend at his school gets kidnapped, so he rescues them, and he's literally just butchering people. He's butchering like ex-military people because he's just beaten up. He's called like the crowbar demon or something, and he just butchers people with it. But that he realizes that's the limit he's going to be able to do. What's he going to be able to do? Fight criminals? If like 6 people with guns came at him, maybe he could disarm a few of them, but what's that going to do? You know, so he's training in the forest, like saying, "Man, he needs magic."
Don't skip his ultimate decision here, Loz.
What was his ultimate decision?
What would he truly do if he was facing a tactical nuclear warhead?
Yes, he does think that. Yeah, he says it's like, well, what can I do? Okay, I can beat people. I can beat a few people with guns, maybe, like 6 people surrounding me, maybe, if I'm just the best, if I train myself to the absolute limit. But anyway, they could nuke me. What would I do then? Is where he gets to logically.
God, yeah.
Anyway, he's then training in a forest.
You just got to evolve, man. You just,
Exactly.
you take that radiation and you evolve.
He's in a forest training his body, like, you know, in the wilds, just like a karate gi on, just punching things, practicing, screaming, "I want magic, I want magic, I want magic, 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 magic." And accidentally, he jumps out of the forest onto a road as a truck goes by and isekais himself. Truck can find you even in a forest. And that's how he isekais himself. And this was after rescuing a girl at school who doesn't even know, who it was like an idol that had been kidnapped before, and then she was targeted and kidnapped again, and he rescues her, and she realizes it. And that plot line just goes. That's it. They build up this girl character, her trauma. Really sees interesting. She's almost starting to get interested in him because he even then sees her, because that's the thing. Like he's sort of looking through her, but then he sort of recognizes her, and then he just gets isekai. And it's like what the hell? And then in the isekai world,
just to point out, right. The whole of the first episode, that's episode 1. Yeah. 80% of episode 1 is on the girl, not the guy. It's on the girl. So you think the whole fucking series is about the girl and the guy's relationship? Nope.
You're subverting expectation.
Everything in episode 1 is just thrown away.
Yeah, we see her wake up, we see her going to school, her interactions sort of with him. He's like this weird oddball that sits next to her. We see her, and there's clearly like slowly explaining how she has to adapt to her trauma. She does, you know, in the past, it's like something happened. Basically, then you realize she was kidnapped, and she has to put on this facade. She's saying how like different people see her different ways, and she's got to be this teacher's pet, so she puts that on, and she never lets the mask down. Then you see that she's got like a chauffeur that picks her up and drops her off, but the chauffeur doesn't turn up. Oh, well, he never normally steps up. I'll try and walk home. And then she gets kidnapped. It's like, oh, I'm being. It's the same thing again. She just got over this trauma, and now the same thing is happening again. They're gonna probably rape her, implied or whatever, or do nasty things to her. And there's a ex-military guy, and it's like, and then this happens is on screen. This guy turns up, and it's the guy. The whole episode building it up. It's like you think that the show would be a dynamic of him being a vigilante, her knowing he's a vigilante, and then sort of like at school, that kind of that would be a show in itself. That would have been a decent show.
I just want to ask, how tall, if you had to guess, that guy say 5'5", right? How tall would you have said the base of those windows were in that factory?
That he drops down from?
No. That's the skylight. No. The one in the image we just saw.
I don't know. I wasn't looking at the windows. I was looking at his cool crowbars.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, he jumps through the skylight of this factory, this abandoned factory. It's got to be at least 15 feet, if not 20 feet, in the air.
Xeno, have you never played an Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, you don't land on your fucking ankles. You land in fucking barrels of hay.
No, from about 15 feet, 20 feet, you can just drop down. It's fine.
He has trained himself to the pinnacles. He can parkour against gravity.
Yeah.
Right.
Within episode 2, we're like isekai time, and there is magic in this world, which he loves. There's dark knights. For some reason, it's all dark knights. Everyone's a dark knight. His sister's a dark knight. He's been born into a minor noble home, because you're always born into a minor noble home. You know, not super rich, but not super poor. You know, you've got access to society, but you're on the low end of things. And he obviously he doesn't let it on. He pretends to be a bit of a doofus, but even when his sister is like this prodigy, he is a billion times better than her, and he pretends, oh look, I stabbed a rock with my power, and she just like cuts through it. But in reality, in the time it takes her to do a swing, he can cast magic and dance around her and stab her about 6-7 times, and then return to the same point without her even spotting he's moved. That's how powerful he is, but he's hiding it obviously because he's using magic. Yeah, because he combines magic with his understanding of magic, with his trained his body to all the fighting styles he's learned in the real world. But right, so then I can't remember all of them, but we then move on to an episode where it's like him growing up and things, and he, for instance,
No,
it's
it's the same
like,
episode.
Is that the same episode? I can't. Well,
Yeah.
we've had, was it
There's
three
only
episodes?
three. There's only 3 episodes. We only have
3 episodes. Okay, 3 episodes. Right. So episode. The end of that episode, in episode 2, it's sort of Mushoku Tensei. The again, sort of like him growing up as a kid, him doing that, and he finds sort of like he kills bandits, and he finds an organic mass which he plays with scientifically, and he figures out actually how to turn it back to into human, and it's this elf girl, and that's when he comes up with the cult of the Diablo or whatever. But she then recruits more people, so he makes I'm going to use the word cadre, a team of assassins.
Posse.
Yeah. Then his sister gets kidnapped, and he sends
Cabal.
His sister gets kidnapped, and they have to find it. And he sort of like, no, that's not where my sister's hiding. And he wants to be really cool, so he throws a dagger at the map, but he misses where he meant to throw it. But then they're like, but that's just a tiny base. Exactly. Damn it, I missed. That's not where we're meant to throw it. In actual fact, he got it right. But he goes to this place with his team, and it turns out that his sister was kidnapped by the cult of Diablo. But he sends his team in, and he goes in separately. They encounter somebody who's like, tell us about the cult Diablo. How do you know that name? Oh my god, I've got to escape from these people. And he's like, I've gotten lost. Where am I going? And that's how that episode ends. It's like, okay, so it's Mushoku Tensei up an army of people. In episode 3, he has to go to school because his sister went off to Dark Knight School. He's going off to Dark Knight School, and his assassins turn around and say, huh?
The same school.
The same school. His army of assassins turn around and say, "We must leave you now, master. We must head off, and it's so sad. We must leave you now." He's thinking like, "Oh," in his mind, he's thinking, "Oh, I guess they're just being really nice to me, and just like they realised that it was all just in my head, and I made it up, and they just letting me down gently. I guess they don't want to hang around with me anymore. They can do their own things. I've saved them and set them up, and they can go away. In actual fact, they're going to spread out around the world to fight the cult of Diablo. He doesn't realise that it exists." But then episode 3 becomes like this weird school romance arc where the prettiest girl in the school accepts he's trying to just play it like a video game, like I'm just a side character. He gets side character friends, like I picked them to be side characters, and then he confesses to the popular girl in school, and she accepts, and it's this sort of weird art then thing where it's like they both playing each other off, and it's like a romance arc between her and her potential fiance and him, and then at the end she's been kidnapped. I'm like, what is this? Every episode is just different.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if this show is genius or bullshit.
Exactly.
So like Loz enjoys the show. Fair enough. Yeah. I think it's just bullshit. I really genuinely do, because every episode has a different setting. I genuinely wonder if the show is basically this kid's been hit by a truck.
Oh my god, he's in a coma.
All this stuff. He's basically in a coma. I do wonder this, but like, it's the fact is, like in episode 1, it's modern day Japan. Fine, that's easy enough to comprehend. Episode 2, he's isekai'd. It's like Mushoku Tensei.
They said he's dead. Didn't they say he's dead?
Yeah. But
not in a coma. They say he's dead.
Yeah, but
I'm saying
we don't know that. That could be.
No, we do.
He's dreaming.
No.
He's already in a coma, and so he's dreaming them saying he's dead.
He's dead,
and he's isekai'd.
Right? Because look at the buildings now. This is episode 2, right? This is old medieval European building settings, right? Like, he's got a flintlock pistol that looks like it has the barrel of a Beretta, but let's ignore that. We've got these really ornate windows. We've got the weird clock behind him and everything.
Actually, ornate windows is more of a medieval time point. That's why we don't get ornate windows anymore.
Yeah, I said medieval time point. Okay. This is still episode 2.
Right. Okay.
Right? But then, as soon as it hits episode 3, we've got steam trains, right? We've got modern Japanese,
steam trains are pretty on point together.
I mean, just because it's another world, it is another world. They don't have to necessarily follow parallel to how our world.
It could easily be the 1800s.
But
imagine what is it? The Antikythera? It was essentially a fancy toy that was
mechanism.
Yeah, that one. Imagine if.
It's amazing it was a toy.
Well, I mean, it is essentially just like a little steam engine sort of thing, right?
No, it worked out where the planets.
No,
and stars were.
okay. So what's the one I'm thinking of? There was one that was essentially a Greek toy.
Oh, you mean the Hero engine, the Alipafeel?
That whatever that is. Yeah.
Well, it was just.
But it was a toy. It was like it was a novelty. Yeah.
They sat and watched it. It was like, it's a steam engine.
Imagine if they'd taken that and actually, like, at the time, oh my god, we could do work with this. Imagine how the development of life would be different.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, but the whole point is that, like, it just feels like every episode is just in a complete... Like, where Overlord, it doesn't feel like Ainz has any coherent direction in plot. In this, the world setting has no coherent continuity, right? Like, again, they're wearing, like, school uniforms like they're in modern day Japan or whatever, but then, the knights of the school, they're wearing, like, knightly garb. It just feels
kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan, how some of them were dressed in that.
I'm going to watch at least one more episode, and I hope that in the 4th episode it ties it back to the 2nd episode, but dear god, it's all over the place.
I can't tell it. Did I say that already? I can't tell if it's brilliant or bullshit. No, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I like it because it sees kind of weirdness, and I've seen Farmer, which is just awful. So
Yeah,
I'm really liking this.
No, I can appreciate that. Right, okay, should we... Right, you can take... Yeah, right, so we are done here. We spent the most time on that one.
Oh my god.
I think that we had so much to talk about. Like, on... what's the name of the...
Witch of Mercury, we also did that. Yeah, we also talked a lot about that one. Yeah.
No, but that one, like, yeah, we completely agree with that one. We're all on the same page. But this one is just like, no, it's just.
There is also an honorable mention that Xeno and I both dropped called Shinobi no Itoki. We forgot to get images for it. It is. I'll just very, very quickly. It is essentially a boy who finds out that his family is carrying on the tradition of these ancient clan of ninjas, and every town in Japan is actually ruled by ninjas, and there's a ninja council, and it just gets really dumb really fast. And
we were only able to watch one and a half.
I think I made it somewhere through 2. Yeah.
Just nope, can't, nope.
Yep.
Nope.
So stay away from that one. Yep.
Right, okay, it is time to move on. It is time for the supporter questions. Right, okay, so Zrugel says, before we start the supporter questions, I just want to say thank you all for listening to our podcast so far. We really appreciate all the likes and comments everyone leaves on these episodes, and we do...
I really love your comments. I love your comments.
Yep, so...
it's what I eat. It's what I live on.
This is breakfast. Right. So Zrul also asks, would you watch an Among Us anime? Ooh. It depends on how long... It depends on how well it's made.
Yeah, I think it depends on who does
episode.
it. Yeah.
I'd at least watch it one episode.
If it was Production IG or Trigger, I'd probably be more prone to give it a try. Mappa, yeah, sure, yeah. But I do think that an Among Us anime would be pretty sus, so,
Oz?
I don't know how you'd spin that out to even at one episode. You could have just 5-minute shorts that would just be jokes, but I don't get how you'd make a whole...
how do they make the thing into an entire movie?
I was about to say, you'd have to do it serious, like the thing. But Among Us, for it to be Among Us, it has that jokey aspect to it.
That is true.
I'd watch it, but I watch bloody Farm thing, so of course I'd watch it.
To be honest, I think the big thing from Among Us is I'd probably not have any lines of dialogue, right? If anything, lots of pointing, lots of transformation on the faces for massive expressions and things like that. But I wouldn't have any dialogue, people pointing no, that person did it, that person did it, that, but
I do like the idea of combining that with shorts. I think you're onto something.
It's like Tom and Jerry, right?
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry,
exactly.
At most had screaming, right? But, you know, anyway. So next we have Ghost Not Ghost Nasuth asks, have you ever watched an anime solely because you think the character would make good figurines?
Characters would make good figurines, yes.
I want to say no.
I definitely haven't. No? Good! We all passed the test.
Where, I mean, we just see. Sometimes I've seen a figurine and I'm like, oh, what's that character from? They seem to have battleship cannons on their shoulders. Ooh, that's interesting. Someone explain that to me. But I've never gone, I must watch that anime. Why? Because that character would be cool. I don't know. I don't understand figurines, so that's
yeah, me either.
What test did you say we passed?
The test.
The test. Okay.
The test. Okay, yes. Right.
Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so Ghost Not Ghost Nasuth also says, why was the main character in Sword Art Online such a crybaby? Because he stubbed his Kirito.
I've run out of ones to find online, so I've started making them up on my own. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, right.
You're welcome. Twombly?
Twombly. Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
Thaylien.
In a famous anime, the characters were all based on planetary bodies, such as the Moon, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. They were all known for their flashy attacks. Well known for their flashy. Because I do not think they were well known. Maybe as an audience, but anyway. For their flashy attacks and transformation sequences. Now that Gundam has moved on to this pattern too, I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing the Shinto priestess from Mars and the fashion model from Venus. Do you think that the later seasons will give us our first canonically lesbian Gundams, or will 4Kids make them cousins?
I mean, who knows? They might do that in the first season with the way things are going.
Yeah. I think they're going to be quite bland about it and just leave it. I don't think they're trying to remember it is for kids. I just think they're not going to imply anything.
Hold on. I'm just gonna. Sorry, you know that 4Kids is gone, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Okay. Cool.
Their ghost will be with us forever.
They're in the shadows.
They're Spectre. Yeah, they
are
the Eminence in Shadow.
Okay.
Shadow. Yeah.
Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
Also, I just want to point out. Can I just say, G Gundam exists? I mean, you're like, oh, look at all these things like the Shinto priestess from Mars. I'm sorry. Tequila Gundam is a thing.
Yeah.
One of these days, I have to watch G Gundam.
Oh, G Gundam. Oh, well. Yeah.
I mean,
it's all available on YouTube on the Gundam Info channel. But still, it's just like, come on, man. Tequila Gundam.
Right. Okay.
Windmill Gundam.
I'm not even sure what that question was about, but sure, let's move on. Yeah. In this episode,
it was about the fact that her last name is Mercury. And the Sailor Mercury, and
No.
Okay.
No.
Alright.
In this episode, Xeno talked about the show Beast Tamers, and while I don't know his opinions on it, because I'm not quite that psychic, I do know that the show does point out a revolutionary concept. What if a fantasy world's Beast Tamer could tame the Beast Girls in the fantasy setting? The question I ask now is a little broad. What other fantasy jobs or classes would have similarly could have similarly been overlooked?
Could have similarly overlooked skills. Yeah.
Would an assassin actually be a really good doctor, or could a dancer actually be able to manipulate the weather with rain dances?
I don't see why not.
A necromancer would be a really good mortician. There you
go. A shield hero would be really good at offense. I mean,
could you just... Actually, no. Necromancer would be a really good medical examiner. Or at least an aide. Could you just imagine if you just turn up and then all of a sudden the corpse just gets up and, just... Yep. Oh my god, Loz is... Anyway. What are you doing, Loz?
A blue mage.
What's Tequila Gundam?
A blue mage would be a really good zookeeper. I guess. And Oberon would be really good at taking care of cats.
Okay. So let's move on to the comments for this week or last week. First, the comments from Kanpai News. T-Rex Paddock says, "How much pie can a Kanpai? Wait,
can a Kanpai can when a Kanpai can pie?
Pie.
3. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is always 3.
I almost replied that to him, but I was like, no, save it for the show.
Yep. Zerugel says, "Ew, Trigun remake looks kind of bad." It does.
I don't know if it's actually a remake or not, but either way, it does look bad.
Oh, no, it's got to be a remake, because Wolfwood's in it.
That's true. And Meryl.
Yeah,
but not the other one, whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, no one can remember her name for some reason. Right, and now for last week's Kanpai Cast. Zerugel scored 12 out of 15. Nick Evans scored 15 out of 15. T-Rex Paget says, "Soka means I just stepped in a puddle.
Soka.
I think we'll find." Not when I googled it. I genuinely Google translated it.
No, do you get it? Soka. Stepped in a puddle. Yeah.
Strombus Voidshell says 4-7. I don't understand.
No, there's more.
But which is my score and which is Nasuth's interruptions?
Good question.
47 is Nasuth's interruptions, so...
Definitely in this episode, yeah. I had
I just want Xeno to make a correction on last week's episode.
I don't know what.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Daijobu.
Daijobu.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that it can be both a question and an answer to the same question.
So let's move on to the memes. Go on, Nasuth.
Right. That's not.
I'm just going to sit here post. Before you do that, if you don't, Xeno, I'm just going to sit here posting Tequila Gundam at you.
Just keep posting Tequila Gundam at me then.
Shoot.
What have you done? Do you need to pause it?
It's doing the wrong. I don't know why.
Background. Oh no! Just right click on it. Right click on it. Yeah, properties, and then just take off the game show thing at the end.
Oh, show game show or just like
show game show. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit
cool.
backspace.
Cool.
Again.
Cool.
Again.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Ha! There you go. We fixed it, everyone. Live troubleshooting right here before your eyes. Xeno does actually know what he's doing with computers. Don't believe the lies. Right. So, wow, this must be the best Latino representation in all of anime. Don't worry, Pochita. We can see what you truly are. He's Capybara. I love it.
Actually, I'm going to pause posting Tequila Gundams so that you know, so I can enjoy the memes. This must be the best Latino representation anime. Don't worry, Pochita. We can see what you truly are.
And he's a capybara. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Brilliant.
So number 2.
That needs Tequila Gundam about 5.
It's alcohol, because no great story ever started with a glass of milk, and then, you know.
Brilliant.
Number 3, a new kind of angel. What is this? and it's what's her name? Dokuro-chan? I can't remember.
I just remember it being quite a meh series.
Yeah. It's the same joke over and over again. You know how much we love that. Yeah. But still, good. Yeah, funny meme.
Wait, hold on. You should surely love that because of that meme which you just constantly used all the time.
The Attack on Titan meme.
Yeah. Sorry, it was a silly question.
Oh. No, that's different. No, that's a recurring joke. That's not every joke.
Let's keep going.
Fried chicken. What is your favorite food?
Loz, for your do you get this?
Hey,
this is young Joseph, and he was able to always know what somebody was going to say in a second a second or two from now. Yeah. Number 5, Spy Family. what if it was gay? Buddy Daddies. Which is actually an anime that is coming.
Oh, it's coming.
What?
Aww. I was like, more spy. We need more spy comedic, like Spy Family. It hits a button, you know. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I'm totally fine with this as an idea, but Buddy Daddies is such a weird thing.
Such a great name.
What
Yeah.
the hell? Okay.
Okay, and finally, poll now open. Vote for Best Dog 2022, and we have.
Yes.
I mean.
Right. Okay. So bottom left.
Yeah.
Bottom left is from Shadow of Eminence.
Yeah.
So in that one, she tosses gold
Shadow
coins, and he acts like a dog to get the gold coins.
Right, and then this one's from Chainsaw
That
Man.
also makes no sense as well.
Right.
Yeah. Bottom right is Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Because
Just to point out, it's Denji, but okay.
And then obviously this is Chainsaw Man and Spy Family.
Yep.
Yeah.
The dogs.
You see, like, I remember we had like the Waifu Wars last year, but now it's like Best Dog, and I'm like, this is tough competition. Okay. This is some tough competition here. The bottom two, no, but the top two.
Well, honestly, this one's disqualified because it's not a dog; it's a capybara, as we've already learned.
Up. Hit the right.
Fine.
Okay. So this was actually submitted by Loz a couple of weeks ago, but now we've actually gotten to talk about the witch from Mercury. So Setsuna F. Seiei. No, that thing is a Gundam.
So Nasuth, Setsuna F. Seiei, that's Gundam 00. And at points he starts saying, "I am Gundam."
I am Gundam.
So the guy saying, "No, that thing is a Gundam."
Yeah, that's what he's referring to.
Right, I get it. Oh my god.
Let's play some Beat Saber.
That face is the best on anything.
I love it when people adapt Aqua's face to fit anywhere else. Right.
Yeah.
My third one. True Mother of Dragons.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, Khaleesi looks way too airbrushed in that.
She really does.
Yeah.
Just
right. Come on, Morty. Quick 8-episode Bizarre Adventure. 152 episodes later.
Yeah.
How are you feeling it, Loz? How are you feeling it? I need this job. I lost everything. I even sold D's. What is D's?
Yeah, he does sell a testicle, doesn't he?
Indeed.
D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Yep. And then last...
What the Okay, alright, that wins.
Seems.
I didn't even know there was a competition, but that wins.
And if you enjoyed these memes, you can find similar memes on twitter.com/Kanpai_cast. We release 2 to 3 memes daily. And yeah, it's that's it. So yeah, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you very much everyone for watching / listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai!
Bye.